We're a weekly gaming podcast where our mission is simple: to bring to light and discuss topics that have an impact on our gaming hobby, and at the same time, highlighting our diverse gamer community, also remaining dedicated to our origins.
Guardian down.
Join me, Todd the Gator, and my co-host Kingsley Mack as we invite a rotating list of guest co-hosts every week to join us at the Guardian Down Roundtable. And now, let's get to it. What's up, Guardians? Welcome to episode 358 of the Guardian Down Roundtable. In our podcast, we talk about topics and news that impact our gaming hobby, all while keeping the focus on our community. We're the podcast that invites a rotating list of guest co-hosts every week to join us at the table. We go live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on my Todd the Gator YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as the Discord live stage. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Once a month, we invite a new member from our Discord community to pull up a chair and share their story with us as well. We are a live show with an audio version available every Monday morning. We love our live shows, but more important, we love interacting with our live chat. So if you guys have input or comments on our topics tonight, be sure to jump in and speak your piece. We might even share it on the show live. So let's introduce first my regular co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, doing good. This is also the show where I can run to the gas station real quick if I forgot a drink. While we're podcasting.
All my preload stuff that I have to do on my little checklist. It's like when I'm flying a plane, I got to flip all the switches and double check and make sure everything's lined up and all that good stuff. So,
and I'll just slide right in when it's time to talk again. No, but I'm glad to be here. Doing good this week.
He'll be the co-pilot getting in at the last second and going, okay, looks like you got everything here. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Excellent, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being on tonight. Let's introduce our guest co-host we have on tonight. Our first guest co-host is here for his first roundtable episode. You can hear his original interview with us back on episode 194 from April of 2023. He's been a member of our community for over 3 years now and is part of the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast. Please welcome from the great state of North Carolina, it's Toll the Bell, a.k.a. Bell. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Good to be here. I know it's been a long time since the last time I've been on this show.
Dude, you're like
it's even called something different.
You're like a seasoned podcaster now. This should be easy for you now because you've done you've done like well over 100 shows now with Dudes Playing Stuff. Right?
Yeah. Tuesday was episode 111.
Nice, man. Yeah. Nice.
Triple ones.
Awesome. Good deal, man.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a hot minute now. It's a great time over there. We play a bunch of random games with our friends and kind of stay up to date with the new games that are coming out.
Nice, man. It's a nice community over there. Very cozy, and everybody seems to have a good time over there. So it's a good thing, man. That's what it's all about with a community. With our second guest co-host tonight, she's actually been on a past roundtable episode when we were kind of testing them out. I think it was a woman in gaming episode that we first met her on. But she's a gamer mom, has also been a part of our Women in Gaming episode. That was episode 266, by the way. We got to first know her from episode 176. She beat you by a few weeks there, Belle. From December of 2022. She's been a member of our community for over 3 years as well. From the great state of Texas, it's PP Pipe. How you been tonight?
Hello. I'm great. I'm doing good. It's been a while since I've seen y'all's beautiful faces. And so
yeah, it's been a long time.
This is good. Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. And your daughter now, I think she's 9, I heard?
She is.
9.
She is.
Oh my gosh.
And she's almost taller than me. It's crazy.
Oh man, that is crazy. That's crazy. Well, what do we have on our show tonight? First, we're going to start things off with PP Pipe. She's going to lead us off in discussing tonight. And she is talking about that very subject, gaming with our kids. And she'll share kind of her process of teaching her daughter how to, all about gamer tags and figuring out controls and all that good stuff. And I think she even does some LAN gaming, which that sounds so cool, man. But then we're going to go to our next topic. Bell is going to be on deck next. He's going to explain how playing games with friends can really elevate your outlook on those co-op games playing together. Finally, Destiny 2 is still a hot topic this week as the Destiny community has been going through various stages of grief surrounding the cancellation announcement from Bungie last week. And I have to admit, I've been a little discombobulated this past week myself. I mean, I make it being a short week because of the holiday and everything. It seems like this whole week has just flown by. But we're going to talk about some news circulating on social media and talk about the latest Developer Insight article that Bungie did put out today. After which point, we'll shift into our segment where we'll just kind of catch up with everybody, share any highlights of their week, also what they've been doing since we talked with them last, which has been quite a while with these two. And then at the end of the show, if time allows, we'll answer questions from our community. So if you do have a question for us, make sure you enter them in our podcast questions channel in our Discord. And of course, if you ever want to send us an email or a voicemail, just go to guardiandowncast.com to find out more about that. All right. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Hey, Guardians, even though we're now the new Guardian Down Roundtable, all the ways you can contact us are the same. Just go to guardiandowncast.com where you can email us, write us a review, send us a voicemail that we might air on the show, by the way, and even listen to past episodes where you can also search for a particular guest of the show. You know, I use this every week to find past episodes that our guest roundtablers are from, so you can go back and hear them and hear their story. guardiandowncast.com. All right, we're going to start off the show right off the bat and talk with PP Pipe tonight. And you want to share gaming with your children and stuff, man. I want to hear about this. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, obviously, I've been playing games for quite some time. And so my kid would always, she's always in the room, back when she was like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And I tried to show her how to use the Xbox controller from a long time ago. And she finally started, getting the character to like move and jump and hit the action button and stuff.
Right.
And so it's been many years to get to this point, but I finally got her a gamer tag and extremely parental controlled. And we've been able to play multiplayer together on certain games because I have 2 Xboxes on 2 separate TVs. Mm-hmm. And so I invite her gamer tag, she accepts it, and then we start playing. And I mean, it's very basic little games, kid games more than anything, but right. It's just cool to see her growing,
You're actually doing a LAN party, what a lot of us did in our basement long ago when Halo was out. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was running from like one room to the next to make sure that icons came on the screen. And I was like, okay, that's me, accept my friend request, child.
If you want a game in the future, you accept the friend request. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. But it's pretty cool. The parental controls, like even on Game Pass, it'll only show games that are appropriate for her age to download.
That's nice.
And so I thought that was just kind of cool from the get-go. I mean, I figured that there would be passwords and stuff for purchases, but I feel safe knowing that she can just kind of scroll through Game Pass and just kind of pick what she wants. And I find out if it's multiplayer, and then now I'm playing Bluey with her. So
that's awesome. Have you succumbed to what a lot of parents have had to deal with the Roblox? Has she been into Roblox? Oh, good for her.
She's not into Roblox. She's not into Minecraft. She could care less about a tablet. So she just likes to play video games. And I think it's because she's been exposed to it so much. Her dad plays a lot too. So
that's nice.
Very cool.
That's awesome. So do you have... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, good.
My dad taught me how to play games when I was a kid.
Right.
So it's just kind of cool to like pass that down, because my dad and I would be playing like Age of Empires.
Oh, I love that game.
And, on the computers and stuff. And that was really fun. And yeah, it's just cool seeing her engage in the game, like going through menus and, reading instructions and finding how to complete certain tasks and stuff. Yeah. She's playing a lot of Disney Dreamlight Valley right now.
Okay.
And so she's going around and like getting certain supplies for certain things. And she loves all the characters, of course, because they're all Disney. And it's been fun. And it has a little bit of building aspect to it. So I kind of hop in and do some of the building.
So you said you were using Game Pass? That makes it nice. So you can, you don't have to have like a big catalog of games for her to play. You can just go down the list, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Now, do you have
tell her she can play any of these?
Do you have like a family plan where you can actually share them between the consoles, or do you have to have like a base console like PlayStation makes you do?
I think per console, I'd have to download the game.
Okay. But can you tie it to one account? Make it like a family account where you can. Is that what you're doing? A family account, or do you do an individual account?
I believe it's probably individual then, because she logs into her name, I log into mine, because we wouldn't be able to play together if we were both PP Pipe. That makes sense.
Exactly. That makes sense. Yeah, that's right. Oh man.
And I think her gamer tag is really cute. Her middle name is Rose, and so the gamer tag is Rosebud.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so cute.
Because
it's like a little girl.
How was that not taken?
Growing.
Oh my gosh. Did she have to add some numbers behind it?
There was some numbers on the end, but
that's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
and I told her when she gets older, she can be like Rose Flower.
Nice. I like that. So did you have to like lay out a rule set if she ever hops on? Do you have to always be home, or, she's going to get around that, that, right? She's going to hop online when you're at work. She'll figure out how to do it. Okay.
Yeah. She's not allowed to, like, nobody can see her online unless they're her friend. And like, nobody can send her messages or anything like that. And she can't purchase anything in the games. And she can't even download a game unless in the room and I enter in my password.
Those are good parental controls. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure PlayStation has the same thing, but obviously I don't have to deal with that. But all my kids are fully grown now. They have their own houses. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But do you like lay out a rule set? Like, these are definitely the things you need to know, or you definitely cannot do these things, or is it just kind of
Well, since it's so locked already, all she can do is download very childish games and play them by herself.
I got you.
So I kind of let her go free roam on it. I also get an email every week of how many hours she spent on the Xbox and what she was doing on it.
Okay.
But I live in an apartment, and so she's not that far from me anyways. So I keep an eye on her.
That's cool.
She really likes playing.
That's awesome.
And it's in the living room. It's not in her room.
Okay, good. So she's out in the open. There we go.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah. That is pretty cool. Do you remember the days playing with your kids, Kingsley? That was early days.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, here in this conversation, definitely it's a fun cathartic type, thought process where I'm like remembering back. My daughter's 21 now, but I kind of remember some of the days too, where just playing some games. It was interesting because growing up, I knew that I was into video games, and I knew obviously I would show technology and games to my kids, but like, I was never like super pushy or anything. I just kind of saw like what they were into, but I remember like fun little old games that they used to play. I don't remember all the details, but, and then, sure, when they're super young, helping them with the controller, and then as they get older, but I'm curious too, like, do you have, when she gets a little bit older, kind of some games you're really excited to show her, introduce her to? And then second part to that question is, how will you feel if she doesn't like them?
I wasn't expecting that second part. Well, I'm hoping that she'll get into some racing games, because I'm really into cars.
Nice.
And I'm really into racing games, and I kind of want her to feel that, like an open map like Forza or something, just let her just run around, just drive around, and be able to paint her cars pink and purple if she wants.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to car racing games. I think it's going to take a little while until we get there. And she's going to like it. That's just the only answer that
There you
that's the only answer that she gets. I'd rather start at least with racing games before we get to shooters because I
Yeah.
don't think she's going to be comfortable with that for a while.
Some girls don't like shooters. They don't. My daughter hated shooters. She never played any of that. She played Diner Dash, obviously. My son was big into World of Warcraft, but she was into The Sims, and I know you know something about that.
Mhm.
You going to get her into Sims, into roller coaster building and stuff, or is she already in it?
If I mean, she does like seeing my roller coaster builds, not gonna lie. Yeah. But it's a very technical
It is.
type of game. So maybe we'll start with some Roller Coaster Tycoon or something.
I got you. I didn't mean to step on you, Mike. Did you have something else you wanted to ask her?
Oh, no, I was
Okay.
mostly just wanted to know more. That's why I was kind
Yeah.
of turning around, asking some more questions.
Yeah.
It's cool. I think you never know how things will go. I think it was interesting with my kids. They moderately like video gaming, but it's not a thing where it's like as much of a drive as I have on it. It
Mhm.
might be a little bit the age. It might be a little bit just the base personality. But boy, they sure would love to have. I mean, my daughter's gotten excited when she's gotten gifted to her or through a friend or whatever, like an older PS5 or PS4 or whatever. You know, she does want to get a computer at some point, but money's the issue, of course. And I'm excited for them to see where it goes. But they're kind of like, at least with my kids, and I'm so laid back too. Like, I'm not, oh, you're not a big gamer like me. Of course, I'm not going to care. I'm chill about it. But like, it was kind of fun to see where they settled compared to me, you know, with their personalities and everything. And I think pretty well, you know, enjoying gaming and but enjoying a lot of other things in life too.
What about you, Bill? You got nieces and nephews that you're the gaming uncle? Shows them how to play games and stuff?
Yeah. I have one. Her name's Harris, and she knows I'm like the nerdy uncle, basically.
Nice. That's a good thing. That's a compliment.
Yeah. So as soon as I like walk in the door, she'll talk to me about like Harry Potter and stuff, which I mean, I've watched the movies and I've read like half the books, but I don't really know it. And she's just rattling off all of this stuff. Like, you know, she wanted to play like Trivial Pursuit, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Trivial Pursuit, but it was the Harry Potter edition, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to lose so hard. so yeah, she'll come to me too, like whenever I'm over there, and like she has like a kind of like a little gaming console, but it's like one of those like all-in-one gaming consoles, and she's like trying to do something and, you know, couldn't jump over a certain thing or whatever, and, you know, help her out with it. But that was a long time ago. I think she's in a phase now where it's like fashion and like Broadway shows. So I think the gaming thing is over already.
Already? Damn.
Yeah, she's acting. She's literally acting like on stage now, like doing stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah,
she's like a business mogul when it comes to Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, whenever it's time for Girl Scout, dude, she's a seller. Like she sells so many, like top seller.
Such a good skill.
Yeah,
such a good skill to learn that early in life. You know,
she's a great kid. She's a great kid.
They used to force me to go door to door to sell band cookies, and we sold trash bags one time. Like trash bags, like really? Going to my neighbors' houses and they're looking at me like, "Get out of here, kid! I'm gonna let you up." Or they have a nasty dog, or oh man, I hated door to door sales. That was such the worst. But yeah, my daughter loved The Sims, and I tell you what, though, the best memories I have of gaming with my kids was Rock Band. Every night after dinner, when they still lived in the house, probably when they were teenagers, even, 13, 14 years old. My God, man, we would play for hours, like at least a couple hours every night after dinner. And we'd jam to the latest Rush song or something, that was on and I'd buy all the packs. They got all my money. Rock Band got so much of my money. I bought so many music packs from them. And what's funny, I don't know why they don't do this anymore, why they don't bring this kind of game back, because it made me go back and buy all their music because I was hearing it. I was getting trained to playing guitar to Rush songs where I wasn't really a big Rush fan until I played Rock Band. And then I heard all their old stuff and oh my God, I went down a freaking rabbit hole just in Rush alone. But yeah, such good memories playing video games when my kids were younger. And I mean, I have a picture of my son. I was playing Dynasty Warriors 3. My son was
Good one.
a little,
That's a great game.
so he was a little tiny little Buddha in my lap on my recliner as I was playing that game. So that kid knew gaming like since he was like 1. So, but yeah, such good memories. But I know there's probably a lot of young parents that are listening to this show, a lot of young gamers. PP Pipe, is there any advice you would want to give them as they're thinking about, bringing their kids into the gaming world?
Well, when you're pregnant, when you're using that controller, just keep it right on your belly while you're playing.
Use the vibration controls. There you go.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice. Yeah.
No, but it just starts. All games start from somewhere. Like board games.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
not.
right.
It starts. You don't start playing video games with a 4-year-old. Like you start with little board games and stuff, and then you move up to like when they're little hands. As long as they can hold that joystick, then just start out real slow on something.
Yeah.
But most kids, I think, should like video gaming. I don't see why. I think the only people that don't play video games are the ones that their parents didn't let them. Maybe.
Man.
But
yeah. My grandson, I'm looking at a picture of him right now. Between my son and me, we're both avid gamers. He's a PC gamer and I'm a console gamer mainly. That kid's not going to have a chance. He's definitely going to be a gamer. He's already very visual. He's a very visual kid. Anytime there's a TV screen on or anything, he's like, "Ooh, what's that?" And they've been very good about limiting screens at such a young age. But even my watch goes off while I'm watching him sometimes, and he'll look at my watch going, "Oh my God, what is that?" And
how many channels does it have?
he actually picked this up. He goes, "Oh my gosh." He's like almost 2. He'll be 2 at the end of June. He goes, "Oh my gosh." Like repeating that all day long. We watched them last weekend. We kept saying that. Like, "Oh my gosh, Mom. Oh my gosh, Grandma." Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Any last words on your topic before we move on?
Bang, bang, bang. That's all I got.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it because a lot of the gamers who listen to our show, most of them are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and have young kids. So I'm glad you mentioned that tonight because it's good to reminisce a little bit too. So thanks for bringing it to
most people in their 20s and 30s and 40s?
Well, I mean, unless you're in your 50s, which I am, but I mean, that's different. But I just realized that I don't have the chat open.
Not 50.
I mean, our main listening audience, I should say, is probably late 20s to early 50s. Probably it's pretty wide range actually of people who listen to our show. So, I mean, I remember Jealous Gaming was 18, 17 when he first started listening to our show and was a part of our Discord. And we actually would have discussions among the moderation team, saying how young should we have kids in here? We got to be careful. I think they need to be 18 or up, right? But we had some parents who would bring their kids in and want to talk video games that were like 15, but their parents had to be in the community as well. So they can, the controls are in place. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for bringing that to the table tonight, PP Pipe. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me share.
All right, let's move on. Bell has some stuff he wants to talk about. We'll do that right after this.
Hello, everyone. Elmer Fudd Games here. They say it's hip to be square, but really, it's hip to be Guardian down round. Round is the shape, not like square. It's a podcast. I hope you enjoy it. It's changed my life. It'll change yours too.
All right, we're on to our next topic, and it is Mr. Bell. Bell, what do you want to talk to us tonight?
I just wanted to kind of bring to the table tonight that whenever you play a game by yourself for like a period of time, and then you play that same game with a friend of yours, or maybe even a couple friends, if the game allows it, how different that game feels as soon as you have another person beside you that has like the same objective. Whether it be on the same team, even if I don't know why people would even play it nowadays, but if you still play Call of Duty, even if you got your friends on your team, or like, me and my friends, we've been playing a lot of Forza since it came out. And just to be in the same race together, it changes it, because like you'll go back to playing solo and free roam, and as soon as you go into a race, it's just you.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I got to lock in a little bit more. I don't have my teammates with me. It's almost like, like in F1 when, your teammate gets taken out and it's just you against the other teams out there, like being solo, you got to lock in. So it's like, it becomes a little bit more casual and a little bit more fun when you have your friends with you.
What games are you guys playing now together? I know you're playing Windrose, right?
Man.
Windrose is like a big game. You guys are playing Pirates. Heard you guys are playing Pirates.
So
another portion of the show.
So we played Windrose, and I did say played because we finished it.
Oh wow!
We, each of us had our own idea of how we wanted to build our base. We stayed into it until that was built. We got through the final boss, and we kind of got our ships upgraded to the point where we kind of just trolled on a lot of the other ships out there. So it just got kind of like, I wouldn't say boring, but it's just way too easy because we had played so much and grinded a lot of materials and crafted a lot of the weapons and all that stuff. So, I mean, of course, when they come out with new content, we'll be back into that. But I mean, it's been a lot of Forza Horizon 6 lately, because a lot of us over there do like to play racing games.
Yeah.
That's why when Pee was saying she wants to get her kid into racing games first, I was big nods. So I was like, yes, 100%.
My Xbox controller is Forza. I mean,
yeah, you have a Forza 5 controller. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When they come out with that Forza 6 one, I'm going to get that one whenever that's announced.
Give me one too. I'll take one.
yeah. But yeah, we're playing Forza. We have a bunch of friend slot games too. We just got a new one tonight. It was $5, and it's called Crash Out Crew. It's made by the same people that make Peak, the climbing game. It's by AgriCrab. So you're basically just a crew of people in a warehouse, and you all have your own forklift, and you have to make the deliveries into the areas, but you can crash into each other. There's little like power ups to like mess up your buddies and how they're going on.
There was a golf game you guys talked about playing.
Super Battle Golf. Yeah, Super Battle Golf. That was
fun.
another one.
That sounded like fun.
Yeah, that was another one.
So are you guys, because of you guys are playing together as a group, are you playing more indie games, or does this apply to AAA games too, or like Call of Duty or stuff?
We're playing a lot of indie games. I'm a big person when it comes to finding the right playtests. I like to be a playtester, mainly because it's your only way of really getting a demo nowadays for a game is to be a part of like an alpha program for those games.
Nice.
So I've been an alpha tester for TYR. It is a kind of like a class system tank battler. Like, well, it's kind of like War Thunder a little bit.
Okay.
When it comes to like the areas that you kind of hit it, but it's kind of more like World of Tanks. It's actually very, very much closer to World of Tanks. It's been really fun. I thought it was a really cool idea, so I just kind of signed up for it, got invited to it, and brought some of my buddies with me. And we play it whenever they have like an open play test kind of going out. They do like kind of weekend long play tests. There's another one called Engine Fall that I just signed up for. Kind of waiting to hear from that one. I've been a part of the Soulframe Preludes since Prelude 12.
Okay.
And they're at 14 point something right now.
Okay.
So that's been really, really cool to get a part of, or to see how that grows and be a part of that. So of course it's like I find these play tests, and then I kind of get a couple friends involved depending on how many invites I have for those play tests. And then I'll get them involved and be like, hey, like, what do you guys think? Could this be like a good game, like for our community? Would it be a good game? Maybe just for us on the weekends or something. And just trying to stay kind of on top of that. So I'm definitely more faceted towards like playing with friends than playing solo. There's a lot of times where if a game is a single player game, I just completely shy away from it.
Really? Okay.
The first one that I've seen that I really want to play is the new 007 First Light game. I'm a huge James Bond fan. I've probably seen every single film. My dad got me on that when I was super young.
I got the whole collector's thing. My brother bought it for me. All the DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah, me and the boys were talking about that the other day, and we were trying to list all of them. And then I remember I think it was John said like Moonraker, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about the cult
Roger
classic
Moore.
one.
Roger Moore.
Yeah, Roger Moore. So
I grew up on those movies, man. I went to the movie theaters
yeah.
watching those 007 movies.
So yeah. So I mean, that 007 First Light is the first time they've done like a fully new story, but it's like only in like the game. They're not going to be making a movie with this story. It was kind of set aside for this game. So I really want to be able to play this game to kind of know where the story's going within that universe.
You said
James Bond.
You said they're not going to make a movie from the game?
I don't think so. No, because they kind of like were making the game so story driven that this is like the new movie, but you get to play it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the first time I have ever been like, I want to get this single player game. Now I'm going to wait till it goes on sale because I'm not going to pay full price for a single player game. But I've watched a lot of streams and it does look amazing.
I was watching Gamer Ranks.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a before you buy thing, and it looked pretty good. But I don't know, man. I know they're using that Hitman kind of
like engine.
Yeah, they're using that template, when they put this together. And believe me, man, I love 007. I love 007 stuff. In fact, I was pissed when I heard they weren't going to have any new movies for a while. But I think they're still trying to find a Bond. I don't know if have they decided who's the next Bond yet, or?
I got GoldenEye on N64.
Nice.
Yeah, GoldenEye is the one of the best.
Yeah.
Love GoldenEye.
Yeah. I almost bought it last night. I was just going to tell Danger that, because Danger in the chat was saying that so far it's really good. And I'm like, I was so close to buying it last night. I was like, wait a minute. Once you see all the games I've been trying this week, I had to draw the line. My hard drive was filling up really quick. I was like, okay, step on the brakes there, pal. Let's just do one game at a time, and it'll just come back when it's on sale. But I mean, see, with the reason I like playing solo is, for me, well, it used to be in Destiny, I would get ready for the raid on the weekend. I would get everything. I get a new build I wanted to try in the raid, so I would play solo to acquire all the armor pieces and get the weapons with the right rolls that I wanted. And then when it came to the weekend, I'd be streaming it usually with the group. I always looked to see what drip I wanted to put on it too. Like, what ornaments do I want to use? I mean, I'd sit there and play around with it. You could spend 2 hours just going through all your armor and trying to just look and see what looks good on it. The drip is definitely a hobby in itself in Destiny, but you said that it kind of elevates games. The fact that you're playing with other friends. I mean, what do you mean by that exactly? I mean, it just gives it more value, or?
It does. In my opinion, playing with friends gives any game a double the value. That's why I'll never pay full price for a single player game. But realistically, when it comes down to it, you can play any game you want to by yourself, but as soon as you get somebody with you, it's like maybe you guys have, the same objective, and then or say it's a co-op game. Like, I remember playing Split Fiction with PP, and I remember playing it with my friend Zach as well. And that game is fantastic when you and someone else can kind of click together and get the same objective done. And then you get on the backside of it and you're like, holy crap, we just did that. And I mean, even like in Destiny, when you're doing a raid, when you're done with that raid, you feel so good because everyone had their own job to do and they did it well. Yeah. And so that whole team mentality, I mean, that's what got me started in really loving playing games with people is raids in Destiny. And it feels so much better because, like, say you were playing, I guess maybe a good comparison would be like a Legend of Zelda title or God of War, something that has like a puzzle in it, right? It's like an action adventure, like with some puzzles in it.
Right.
And you get done with that and you're like, oh, that was a cool puzzle, but you just did it by yourself. So you don't really have anybody to celebrate that with except for yourself.
True.
And so you're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to go on to the next thing, because then you're chasing that dopamine of like, okay, I want to solve the next thing. But like when you have people with you at the end of that solving or that objective that you've got done, you guys can really just relish in the moment and share like, oh my God, do you remember when I fell off of this, but then recovered? Or like, remember when you died and I had to run across the map to get you really quick and I almost died too. Like you get those instant memories when it comes to playing with people. So it elevates it in a way of not like it's better gameplay, but it's just a better time. It's a better feel.
Yeah, I get that. And also, Kingsley always likes the end screen after a raid because he can shame me on the lack of damage I did for the raid.
There's that too. Because if you were by yourself and you killed that boss, you'd be like, oh, I did that much damage. Cool. But if you got your buddies there, you can start talking shit.
There's competitive. Yeah, it gets competitive. I like that. But I like that stuff, though. I like being able to...
you like it. I don't care about it as much. I just bug you because I know it bugs you.
It does. It bugs me. Believe me. That's my PvP coming out. I'm like, I should have done better numbers than that. What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change?
I can read the room.
Yeah. So,
all right. I want to give some input on this too.
Go for it.
Great topic. I like it so much because it helps, I think, us all open up more in another way. I'm all about experiences, and there are a lot of things in games you can't experience the right way until you play with someone else and things like that. So even over the years, even with how much raiding I've done, I still probably would say I'm more of experiencing a lot of things in the game solo more so than playing with groups of people. But boy, once I started doing the raids and stuff, it's such a cool additional experience. I think we all just need to hear that. We need to maybe go out of our comfort zone if that's not our base personality, man. I can give reasons both ways why some people would prefer to be more of a solo player or some people would prefer to play every single game with friends. And it's obvious. It all comes down to your base personality. Some people are more introverted, some people are more extroverted. But that doesn't mean that you should stay in that template. As me being an introvert, there's times where I do need to like reach out more and play with others to kind of break out of my shell. And vice versa, I do think sometimes people that are totally extroverted miss out on some single player games.
I was just going to say that. I was like, that's why I try to challenge myself to either like play a single player game like at least once a quarter, like once every 3 months, like try to play something. That's why I was like 007, I want that to be my single player game. I really do.
I'm just
because I mean, I play like some other things too that like I've been playing by myself, but I know that some friends are going to be getting it. So in a way, I'm kind of like Sherpaing my way through it so that way I can help them out. So it's kind of a different feel because I'm just like compiling information to share later, but I'm still playing it solo. So like there's still that solo aspect. Like Ed said today, it's like, hey, I just got that game. Like I'll probably play it this weekend. And I got insanely excited. Like, dude, I have so many things to show you. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. I know the mechanics for like this one boss. Like, dude, we're going to have a great time. And I was just super excited again.
Yep. Yeah. And I can totally give experiences too why a lot of people that are more introverted, they're trying to play a single player game. And then you do not want to run story missions with other people because they kind of can ruin the experience. They're talking over cutscenes. They're kind of doing things. We're in like a 20-person chat and like you can't hear anything, but that's okay because even me as an introvert, again, I love the point you're making that I'm going to do a lot of things first, but then if I never branched out and played games with other people, I would not experience cool things like raids. I would not experience the best thing you put, I think, is like saying how you're learning it a different way from someone else, right? Like even how much I've rated and done certain things, someone else comes in the group that has a lot of experience also. I can learn something slightly new. Even if it's only like 2% slightly new, it's still something. It's still something I'm learning. And I really love how you brought this. And it's definitely a call out for people that are more introverted. I'll put my staff of approval behind it too, because I'm that way to kind of try to play more games with friends to kind of get those experiences.
Well, and I mean, I wanted to bring it a little bit too, if I could touch on one more thing. It's like, I wanted to bring this tonight, especially to this community and to you guys, because, they made that announcement for Destiny that there's not going to be any more updates and it's going to be maintenance mode. Like, this is the time to go ahead and start reaching out to maybe even other communities or maybe your friends group and get them involved even here, like friends that you've made here in this community, get them together and, go ahead and start playing some other games, getting your feelers out there. Like, okay, if you're into looter shooters, because you played Destiny 2 for so long, look for other looter shooters. Now, there are some bad ones out there. Trust me. You're going to go through some duds. You're going to go through some bad eggs, but just do it with with your friends, close-knit friends. And then if you start kind of your own little thing going, maybe you can get some other people involved and then you start to grow, almost like a sub community. And I mean, that's what we've been doing over in DPS for a long time now. It's like everybody kind of has their own interests. And like, if it's Warhammer 40K, if it's D&D, if it's, any type of like a racing game, sports games. I mean, I don't condone sports games, but that's, other people, if you're into it, that's fine. But we have all these different groups and you could start that here or you could start that wherever you want to, but just don't be scared because Destiny 2 went into maintenance mode. It's still going to be there for a little bit, but also just kind of start branching out a little bit.
Well, yeah. And it is a good reminder also that we actually do have for people that aren't aware here that, again, might only play Destiny. We've had this for a while, actually, in other games areas. So I've been trying to keep that pretty steady with like a lot of different games in there. So definitely check out, you can browse these channels and see if like we're talking about things, if certain games might tickle your fancy. And 1000% join other communities also, like Bell's saying, because again, it's like the more people you have in your Rolodex, I'm just coming with the old school term, but the more people you can Rolodex in your iPhone address book, you can.
That was before there was area codes, bro.
Kingsley's
that was a 7-digit number.
Kingsley's old.
I'm from the 714. But anyways, yeah, no, it's good to kind of look and see what else is out there in case something looks good.
See, on the other side of that equation, I'm the type of introvert that I have to have downtime. I have to have time when I'm not around other people. I have to recharge. And usually it works perfect for me because when the first campaigns would come out for the latest Destiny expansion, I had a strict policy that I played all the campaigns solo because I wanted to get really enveloped into the dialogue and really break down what's going on in the game and stuff. And I've tried gaming with 2 other people in the past, and people get so excited they start talking over the voice lines. You're like, well, no, I can't do this. I got to be able to, I want to fully invest my time into the game. And there's a lot of times where I, whether I'm working all day and I'm coming home and I usually have a couple hours before I watch a show and then go to bed every night. Those 2 hours are sacred to me. And usually what I'll do is 9 times out of 10, I'll play solo. But then on Saturdays, I know we have a raid team we're going to be playing every Saturday night. And I look forward to that because I've fully recharged through the week. Podcasting is another outlet for me. And then come raid night, I'm all excited. It's good to see everybody. You're catching up with everybody. You're talking, if you haven't seen them in the Discord. And on that, if you are an introverted person out there are ways to still play with others where you don't have to feel like you're on blast every day. You know what I'm saying?
You said scheduling actually helps.
Yeah.
It helps for multiple reasons. Not just even an introvert extrovert thing, but like with like my wife who has ADHD, like we've learned certain things like scheduling can help change your, I don't want to say like personality. It can change the thought process in your mind where like, even if you're an introvert and you need time to recharge on certain days of the week, whatever, if you have a social thing that's scheduled as an introvert, you're more likely to be okay with that if you're accepting that. Of course, you got to accept it in the first place. And it doesn't mean I don't like to do things on the fly from time to time also. But what I was getting to that point. Yeah. Like again, if you're not doing anything with friends, just start scheduling a few things because then you'll be socially prepared for it.
Yeah. You can prepare. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm very much that kind of person. And I mean, you got to remember too, I'm in front of a lot of people during the day when I'm at work. You got to put your face on when you're talking to your clients and stuff. You got to act like you give a crap about their problem.
I see what you're saying.
When you're talking to people in Mercedes, Bell, and they come over and start complaining, you got to put a nice grin on your face and say, We'll get
no,
we'll take care of
I'm
it.
sorry, I don't do that.
You're behind the scenes.
Even
I know.
with customers.
I know. That's what the sales rep's for. Push that sales rep out in front. That's his job. But you know what I mean.
I was like, I will tell somebody to F off in a heartbeat.
I know, but you know what I mean, though. But you still, with your managers and stuff, you still have to put a face on. Everybody has to put that mask on when they go to work, and
there's one, that I put the mask on for.
Yeah.
The other ones don't deserve it, so I don't do it.
Okay, I got you. But I mean, that's the way.
I know what you're saying, though.
I mean, I was the shyest kid, and my first job was bagging groceries at Publix grocery store. And I remember one time that I almost got fired because I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't say hello. I was terrified. I couldn't even create small talk. I was that freaking introverted. And I just, they forced it out of me. And I'm so glad I had a retail job when I was younger, because it made me turn into this other person when I'm in front of people. And then I can revert back to my quiet self when I'm not in front of people. And
I could literally say ditto to that. I feel that with a lot, because I was the same way just with Harris Teeter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was the same exact way. And then that got me out of my shell, was being customer facing. And that's what, then I became customer service because of it, because I was like, I kind of started owning it.
Yeah.
And then, it's crazy.
I think every teenager in high school should have a customer, a retail job where they're in front of people.
Job. Yep.
Because they need those social skills to know how to, I keep wanting to say deal with people, but not that. You're trying to adapt to people, and you can even get sophisticated on it. You can get really good at flipping the script, and someone who comes in angry about something, you can flip the script on them where they leave feeling good about the things. Those people are invaluable, by the way. But like today, I had a customer call me, and he was not happy. He just put sod in a shade lawn. You know where I'm going. He's calling me about how all of his sod is starting to thin. And, instead of jumping down his throat saying, dude, this grew in a sod field for 8 hours a day. Now you want it to grow the same and be happy in 1 hour a day, son? I mean, come on, dude. That's what I wanted to say. But I said, okay. He's walking around the lawn, pointing everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about right there. Yeah, And instead of jumping down his throat, I just quietly just explained that, remember now, this grass was on a sod field 8 hours a day being pampered, and it got cut out of the ground, thrown on a pallet for 2 or 3 days. And then by the time it was delivered to your house, it was not happy. And then you put it into an area that's getting maybe 1 to 2 hours of sun a day. I says, it takes years for your grass to acclimate to that new shade environment. And in the process, you're going to lose some grass. You're going to have to fill stuff in with plugs and stuff. And, we left amicably. He was happy. He says, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. And that is a prime example of turning it on and then coming home and turning it off. So that's the reason I thought that was a good topic tonight, because it really does. I mean, if you know that there's a game that's very co-op heavy, or you can get into a fire team and enjoy the game together, it will drive sales too. If developers are hearing this, because I mean, let's face it, the friend game is what kept Destiny going for a long time. Even Deej a long time ago called it the friend game. That was a big selling point for the Destiny games back in the day when things weren't so happy. So, but
I have a hard time keeping up with so many games. I mean, what is there, like millions of them? Like, I cannot.
20,000 a year on Steam alone.
I can't keep up. And so I don't like to play multiplayer all the time. I like my quiet solo time myself too.
I was going to ask you about that, because you do a lot of world building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which has nothing to do with multiplayer. Like, that's very me.
Yep. Exactly.
And so I do keep those games in my rotation, my building games, that it's almost like therapy to me, rather than, hearing like, oh, let's go over here, let's go over there, let's go play this. And it gets like a little too much for me, and I'm always usually last place in the group anyways. So it's not like I'm.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm glad you spoke up, because I was going to ask you about that, because I'm sure world building, it takes a lot of introspection on how you want the park to flow, and how do you want this roller coaster to be different. I think maybe that was my daughter too. that was her introspective time to be creative. And she's definitely a creative person. She's an artist. But yeah, I was going to
I've
ask you
always
about
been
that.
into those like city building games, like management,
Mhm.
or maybe it's a control thing. I don't know. It's like controlling, but also mixed with multitasking and being responsible by yourself. Like if my town goes under because of money or something, like that's something that I did. I can't blame anybody else for it or something. So I've always been a pretty solo player,
Mhm.
but I did, on the topic of playing with friends, I did meet practically all of my friends from playing online with multiplayer. Because, I don't multiplayer any of my building games. That's for sure. I like to see anybody outbuild me. Meh.
See, I played a lot of RTS games back in the day too, because that was my creative time to build these. Empire Earth was my all-time favorite. And because you build up as you go, as humans went through different ages, you get into the Bronze Age, and then you keep moving up and your technology would go up with you. It was so much fun to do that. But it was a single player game. You literally was you in the world you're building. You could play against another person, but it's not like you were talking with them. They basically were playing. It was like a chess game where you couldn't talk. So, but I would be willing to wager that a majority of gamers out there are introverted people, because gaming in itself, I think before it became a social thing, once the internet became big, before that, I guess people played tabletop games and stuff, but I think video games in the early stages, I think for a lot of kids like me growing up in the 80s playing Pac-Man and stuff, it was all about focusing on that TV and trying to get to the next level. We didn't want to talk to anybody. I got my soda right here. I got my peanut butter and jelly sandwich right here. I'm set,
Doritos.
Yeah, well, we couldn't afford Doritos, but we get the regular crappy potato chips. But anyway, I think a lot of us as gamers
Doritos are premium.
I think we start out playing single player games, and I still think that live service games are going to kind of go through its phase. And I think we're going to revert back to one and done games. I think we're going to go back to a lot of one player games because live service isn't doing too hot right now. Not many games are really successful at it. So a couple comments here. Tortugo in the chat said, I'm excited for the duos coming to Marathon soon. It'll definitely be a little more fun being able to play with a friend that's always on and not having to have random people who don't talk. Yeah, nobody uses mics in Marathon. It's way too serious a game to be on a mic. Yeah, and Scarlet Maddie says, yes, if you're more carefree, you'll be more open to interpretation of what the moment can be. But then when you know what's coming down to the hour, you know how much your day will take mentally, and it'll be easier emotionally. Yeah, that's a good point too. But yeah, good topic, man. Deadpool's son closed his laptop. He got kicked out of the chat. Thanks, Bell. It was a good topic, man. I appreciate you bringing that to the table tonight. All right. Well, we all know what's next. We're going to talk some Destiny, and
dun, dun, dun.
Do that when we return.
Hello, Guardians. This is Notorious One, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable.
All right, for the kind of the final topic tonight, I'm going to kind of mesh our Destiny roundup and kind of what's been going on in the Destiny community this week. I just want to kind of catch everybody up. If you haven't followed social media, there is a lot going on right now, and I think
the Discord, we do talk about it a lot.
Absolutely, the Discord too. Yeah, we and a lot of times we'll share videos in the Discord that'll pop up, and I'll go research them out and pull the main points from it. But it's kind of still a hot button issue though on social media, and I wanted to go through some of the latest news, and we'll just talk about it. We'll talk about the Developer Insight article that dropped today as well before we go. First off, I found out through various sources over this last week that Bungie employees, for the most part, only knew about the stoppage of support for Destiny 2 when we heard about it. How scary is that? Some employees were reportedly still working on Shattered Cycle DLC when they heard the news. And this was, I think, from Paul Tassie's video he put out. So internally, Schreier, right? Bungie is a hot mess right now. And there's rumors that there's going to be big layoff numbers coming through the studio here soon. I don't know when that's going to be exactly, but Yeah, Jason Schreier.
Since you
Yeah,
brought it
go ahead.
up, what do you think they only found out right before?
I think according to the insiders from that Paul Tassi knows, that only a select few people in the entire Bungie studio knew about the stoppage, and that a majority of the people.
What do you think that was?
Well, maybe leaks, panic. Probably be a lot of leaks, right?
It's obvious.
Yeah.
I was mentioning this even leading up to it, that this is the only way it couldn't have leaked. Whether that's right or wrong,
you nailed
companies
it.
do this all the time.
Yep.
If someone's going to get fired, like a CEO is leaving or something like that.
Yep.
I'm not giving any input on if it's right or wrong right now, but I was thinking, I was like, there's a couple people that knew. Tassi knew ahead of time. A couple key employees inside of Bungie knew. It's not that no one knew,
right?
But basically the percentage no one knew. And that makes so much sense because there's no way it couldn't have leaked without how they did this. That's what they had to do if they didn't want it to leak.
You really think that JD Kent thinks of Marathon as a huge success? Likely another Destiny will not happen. I think they're mutually exclusive, man. I really don't think the success of one means a failure of another. I really don't. It's all about. Anyway, Jason Schreier did release a video. He's now a YouTuber, by the way. I think he's going to become another Paul Tassi. He's already got 10,000 subs on his YouTube channel, so he's growing fast. But he released a video explaining kind of the ups and downs inside Bungie over the years, and he did verify that there is no Destiny 3 in development and that Bungie is continuing to pitch various ideas, including future Destiny-related concepts, but nothing is actively planned at the moment. We kind of knew that from last week, but Schreier confirmed it this week. He states that Sony's just really unwilling to greenlight a Destiny 3 because it's just astronomically expensive right now to make a AA or a AAA game. He stated that Bungie would need upwards of $500 million, not including the marketing, to make the game. And he also pointed out that Destiny 2's proprietary tools and that engine have made content creation really slow and difficult, and hence why they had to strip out past versions and storylines like Red War and Leviathan raids, which that's such a key part of Destiny 2. That's what introduces you to Destiny 2 as a new player. I mean, it's kind of a really crucial part of the game. Still don't know why apparently it was the engine. So he also said that the studio focus is now Marathon, which we kind of knew about already, but he confirmed it. There's been a lot of drama concerning Marathon. Many people in the Destiny community, including Astrocross, are boycotting Marathon. And Glad just tweeted today that he said, fuck Marathon. I'm with Cross. I'm not going to play it. I'm boycotting it as well. I don't know how this will turn out for Marathon. I mean,
that's Cross thing's not entirely true. He's kind of going back and forth.
You think it's a publicity stunt?
I think it's a publicity stunt because I even watched a follow-up video from him that said, no, guys, actually play Marathon, but I'm not going to be playing it. But
who knows? Someone might have called him.
He'll probably still play it some too.
Yeah.
I think it's a 25% he's emotional and 75% in a publicity stunt.
He's in the anger stage, and now I think some people are at the bargaining stage. They're trying to
I just had a report on that because it's not totally true. That's a total boycott. He's kind of gone back and forth on some of the wording.
I just saw what he produced yesterday. I haven't been on YouTube today. Or at least
this changes so much. That's why I'm like, it's almost like we can't even report on it because so much is just changing.
So it's just a lot of hubbub right now, and a lot of people think because Marathon is their focus, and they've stated publicly that that's the reason why Destiny 2 has gone by the wayside. And like Kingsley mentioned earlier, it really has nothing to do with Marathon. This game is...
I think before we started the segment, didn't I? So I probably should give...
Go for it.
Yeah. I've said this way in the past. Mm-hmm. If you go back and listen to my words on the podcast, and pretty much a bombshell was dropped today too that confirms it. But there's so many things to this where basically if you look at the history coming up, when you talk about the money thing and they don't want to green light 500 mil right now. Well, it makes sense because after Final Shape, Destiny already wasn't selling as well, right? So that has nothing to do with Marathon. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just Destiny. Then the next point is it kept getting worse with each one.
Yeah.
Then the final point was that they made the decision in January. This was even before Marathon came out to stop. We just didn't know about it until recently.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was that Tassie confirmed today with inside sources that this was purely just a decision within. He didn't clarify. I'm still always interested if it's kind of like more Bungie leadership versus Sony leadership. That we don't know, but he did confirm that this is purely a decision based on Destiny's performance. It has nothing to do with Marathon.
I mean, okay. I was kind of going to bring this up in a later show, but here's the problem, man. If you're going to have a live service game, you have to have a repeatable loop. You have to have something that people can come back to and work on a little bit. You know, there has to be a loop that draws you back in. And for me, everybody drink in advance. For me, that was Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders had the perfect loop for me. Thank you, PP. Arc Raiders had the perfect loop for me. I would go in, I was putting together projects. I was filling up my expedition capsule in case I wanted to do an expedition and reset. Not to mention, I mean, it kind of was a looter shooter for me because I was trying to gather blueprints and weapons. And as I gather them up, I'd stuff them in my stash. But the stash only holds 280 things. And I realized you can get more stash now if you pay an astronomical amount to some new vendor. But here's the problem. I'm hitting a wall now where I've played everything. I mean, I've played everything.
Another game.
No, that's what, well, I'll talk about that. I've been playing a lot of games this week, but now I've just set Arc Raiders aside, everybody drink. And I've just I'm just waiting to see what they're going to do. And that's kind of the way I've been playing Destiny. I've just kind of set it aside. We've done it. I mean, my God, Kingsley, me and I have been, I've been playing this for 12 years, man. We have done everything in Destiny. I mean, there's some things that we haven't done. I mean, I haven't done like legendary raids and stuff, but there's no desire for me to do that.
I haven't either. I haven't heard of those.
That's not, well, you know what I mean? The, whatever it is.
Master.
The Grandmaster, whatever they call it.
Legendary raids.
But I just have no interest in doing that. I mean, I want the raid. I want to play the raid. That's the experience in the game. It was nice that Bungie has these extra levels of stuff for the really, really hardcore players who want to challenge themselves, but that's not entertaining to me. That's not part of the game loop that's going to keep me playing Destiny 2. And Destiny 2, when that portal system came in, it really didn't. It really didn't.
Well, it was
help.
before that. We can't. The biggest drop. I have a chart ready to show people at any point. But the biggest drop ever was right after Final Shape.
Yeah,
so it wasn't. And the portal kind of put the main killer on it.
Right.
And then when the Renegades didn't do well either, that was kind of like a double confirmation.
Yeah.
And then they made the decision in January. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, is there a boycott? I think this is going to hurt Marathon because I think a big chunk of players that play Marathon are Destiny 2 players. And if Destiny 2 people are not happy and the new season pops out, when this last DLC drops too, it may not fare well for Marathon. I don't know. I mean, I think Marathon, if you remember correctly, when they had the open play, they said, we don't want Destiny 2 players. They didn't say that, but that's what they were kind of insinuating. When they were doing the play test and the inviting streamers that play Tarkov and all these other games to test their game out and see what they thought, there wasn't anybody being invited from Destiny 2. They were looking for an entirely different audience, which is asinine. Why, Bungie, would you look for another audience when you have a gigantic audience right
totally different game
in front of you? But why are they making
most people that play Destiny don't like Marathon? That's why. Then they knew that. Bungie actually had the words that they said a long time ago. They said Marathon may not be for a typical Destiny player. They said those words.
Who approved that idiotic idea?
It's truth. It's realism.
Give me a break, man. True. That's like me saying, you know what? I know I'm in the pest management business, but I want to sell rims on cars. That's what I want to do.
But is that true?
But none of my customers over here want to buy rims. No. They want me to take care of their pest control problems. Why are you coming over?
It's not a good analogy because that one's not true.
You got to sell them trash bags.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I had to sell trash bags. No. Inside joke, guys. Inside joke. But it just doesn't make sense. Why you not make a new game that appeals to your core audience, that millions of people bought this game, and it's not for them?
Well, now you're definitely changing the subject, but yes.
Sorry, I'm in my
We're gonna
anger
go down
stage
that
now.
route.
I've been through this stage
We're
so many
going to go
times.
down that route.
No.
This is why you don't need to do this.
Yes,
but
yes. I know, but
you're going to go down that route. It's because people that are creative like to make different things. Right?
Yes.
So it's like telling an artist, you have to make all your pictures look the same. You know, you have to, you know.
We've been down that road, so I won't.
Sometimes people like to make
I understand.
different things, you know.
I won't revisit that. We've already spewed that hate a long time ago. So
yeah, right.
But there's two reasons that Jason Schreier said that Sony is hesitant, other than the fact that they just got burnt for $1.5 billion as they had to write it down when they bought Bungie. I mean, think about it. Sony is already not happy with Bungie, and now they want them to take a risk, a $500 million risk, to try to make a Destiny 3 game. They're not in a really good position right now. Well, like I said, the first reason they said is the skyrocketing development cost. It's in the whole industry right now. I mean, there's a stagnant market where players are kind of sticking to those forever games, you know, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Helldivers 2. I mean, they're games that they play all the time. And it's also a result that we're in a major inflationary cycle right now. I don't know if you guys have filled your tank up in your car or been to the grocery store lately, but it's so expensive to buy stuff right now. So people are a little less. I mean, what's the first thing you're going to give up when you can't pay your bills? It's going to be buying a video game. So you're just going to go back to the old. All right, I'm maybe not talking to the right audience, but you know what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying, though.
You got to stay in the game no matter what.
But you're gonna.
I'm selling my shoes.
But if you don't, I mean, but if you don't have any money, you're going to go back and play Call of Duty because you already bought the game, and that's what you're going to go back and play because. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if the shit hits the wall, and you want it to be entertained, well, we're pretty much white whales.
I get bored.
Yeah, I mean, we're.
I was moving to something else. Yeah.
We're the people that the video game developers are looking for right now. Is the Gen Xers that have money right now, but like I said, they're going back to those forever games, and I honestly thought that Destiny was a forever game, to be honest, because how many people have stuck around and played this game for 12 years plus? So, but remember, back in the 2010s when they were first making Destiny, the original Destiny, interest rates were low. Investors were just flocking to the gaming industry during the COVID era. I mean, today it's very, very different. Interest rates are very high right now. A lot of your investors are flocking to AI. Gaming's not the hottest thing in the block anymore. So I talked about this. One of the episodes in the past, I talked about the state of the industry report that came out, and that's the one big thing is gaming was peaking in the 2020, 2021, 2022, and in 2023 it started to make that turn. In 2024, we're actually start coming down on the curve now. So things are kind of leveling out, which is probably why Sony is, not excited about putting another $500 million into a Destiny 3 that people may or may not like, But anyway.
Yeah. And this isn't just a Sony Destiny problem. This is all video game companies are kind of dealing with this. And I keep predicting that we may have a little bit less video games in the next year or so in total, if you just look at total count.
Dadbot said
so expensive to make.
Well, good. There's billions to still play.
Oh, yeah. There's billions to still play. I'm just saying, like, if you look at 2025 and then if you look at 2026 or 2027, we'll probably have less games that come out by a small amount.
You've been saying that. Several episodes you've been saying that. It might be happening. I think there's going to be less AAA games. I think mainly because, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The reason console prices are up right now is because everyone knows GTA 6 is coming around the corner. It's been confirmed by the CEO today.
It's not like console prices are up. It's definitely because of the economy. 1,000% the chip shortage, the
tariffs, all that stuff.
The RAM, the storage.
Yeah,
not because of GTA, I promise you.
We almost got a second pandemic before GTA 6.
We almost did. But the CEO verified the 19th, November 19th, I believe, if I remember if I'm correct. November 19th, it is coming. GTA 6 is coming.
See.
Winter is coming.
My birthday.
Winter is coming. There you go, Belle. Winter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, winter is coming.
We'll see if it comes out.
We'll see.
We'll see if it's a birthday present or not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come out.
Just some comments here in the chat.
I think it will this time.
Dadbot
Will
said,
it be good? Who knows?
Dadbot said, I'd buy some of your rims and tires, Todd. Okay, I appreciate that vote of confidence, Dadbot. Scarlet Maddie, because Destiny is very cushy compared to Marathon, like some bleed over. It's inevitable, but not intentional. No, I'm not going to sell spinners.
Spinners.
I guess that was a bad analogy. Tortuga in the chat says, if Marathon didn't have the Bungie name and was just claimed by Sony, would people still act the same about Marathon and beat it down for Destiny still? I don't know. That's the $1 million question. I mean, well, I guess the numbers are going to show it, but I mean, let's be honest, guys. Marathon's numbers weren't that great. In fact, Destiny 2 exceeded daily player base numbers over Marathon.
Touch on that, honestly.
I mean, let's think
about it. It's not like
they
really stole much from Destiny in the first place.
Yeah.
It's just the heavy PvP guys went to Marathon, and then now they're just boycotting it because they want views on their channels.
Here's the
that's all it is.
Also, I want to make the point that I don't believe, unless someone can run statistics and find out, I don't believe it's a huge amount or majority of people that are doing this boycott. Yeah, there's a lot of loud voices and it's getting in the news, but people that I talk to in different communities, including this one, generally are pretty cool about it. I've never even heard anyone secretly saying boycott Marathon.
I'm going to try the PvE.
I just don't think it's a huge percentage.
Yeah, I'm going to try the PvE.
I think it's just a talking point this week. We'll be over it next week.
Yeah.
Just ignore it, people. Don't boycott Marathon. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, Kragers are good rims. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'm wondering if Sony backed the wrong horse here. There's been a lot of speculation.
Destiny would have failed anyways. I mentioned that.
Yeah. Destiny, well, like I said last week, when the news dropped, I said, I got to thinking, I said, is there anything they could tell me that they're bringing to Destiny 2 that would get me just like fully 180? We're going to play Destiny 2. Absolutely nothing else. Blinders on. All I'm going to play is Destiny 2 like I used to. There isn't anything they can add to Destiny 2 that's going to make me do that other than a Destiny 3 game.
So I always like to give analogies where two things can be true at once.
Okay.
It could be true that they backed the wrong horse with Marathon, but that's separate from it's also true that Destiny was going to fail on its own. There's nothing to do with Marathon.
Two things can be true.
Two separate
That's exactly
points,
right.
and both can be true.
That's very true. Yeah, you're right. You're right there. I don't know. I've gone through all the stages of grief this week, probably 3 times over. So I don't know what stage I'm on now, but.
Hey, you're listening to Guardian Down Radio. Stick around. You might enjoy yourself.
Guardian Down Radio?
Did I say that? Yeah,
you did.
I did say that. Again,
It's got a nice ring to it, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's actually good.
As soon as I went to start talking, it was going. Yeah. Hey, this is Arisen Phoenix, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable, not radio. Stick around. You might enjoy yourself.
I did want to talk about the developer article. It just came out today, and there's some exciting stuff in here, guys. I'm going to share the screen in the Discord as well, so you guys can see as we're going along here. Welcome to our first Dev Insights article, prepping for the release of Monument of Triumph on June 9th. We have quite a bit to go through over the next few weeks. Today's article focuses on the return of the director and the Destiny 2 activities, and here's what they're going to be talking about. Obviously, this is the new director I'm showing on screen here. You can see that they included the Lawless Frontier, and Kepler now is in the map, and they have all your activities. These are all your portal activities down at the bottom down here, raids and dungeons. These are all like sub-screen menus here, and this is the portal right here, I'm assuming. This is your Vanguard.
This be the audio cast. Just look this up afterwards.
Yeah, just look. I'm trying to describe it visually too. But the biggest thing I heard, Kingsley, what's the one thing I love doing in Destiny 2? Is patrols. I love to do patrols, man.
Bounties.
Patrols gave you. It gives you clan XP.
Changing your answer. You can't have it be both.
It gives you clan XP. It moves your season pass bar. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. But what they're doing is they're making it really exciting to actually go back to the patrol space. And they even mentioned here that they had kind of forgotten about the patrol areas. They were so focused on all these activities that they forgot about these patrol zones that we love to do. So beg your pardon? What's that?
Never mind. You said we love to do.
Well, I like to do. I think there's a lot of people in Wii.
And are you sure this is exciting? Because they said it's harder versions. You don't like
I
the
like
harder.
I like harder versions as long as there's good loot
All right,
for
we'll
it.
see.
But
Mark
anyway,
my word in this podcast today, May 28th, we'll look back in
Okay.
2 months and see if you like this new activity.
but in a nutshell, public events are going to mean something again. In fact, there's going to be two different ways you can upgrade. There's going to be the heroic versions, which are going to be a little harder, and then the regular versions. And they're saying that you'll be guaranteed tier 3 gear for a regular public event and tier 4 for the heroic versions. And you'll even have a chance to upgrade all the way to tier 5 loot. So, but there's these things called distortions, which they describe the distortions as it's kind of a remembering, where you're kind of remembering the past. They're kind of bringing back the past glory of Destiny with these distortions. And these distortions are an hour at a time and they rotate between all the planets. And when they do, it'll actually raise your tiered loot up 1. So basically, if you do a heroic public event when there's just a distortion going on, say in Nessus, and if you look at this map right here, you'll notice you asking me what this red was here, Kingsley, on Nessus. That means that there's a distortion going on right now in Nessus, and it lasts for exactly an hour. It gives you a little countdown timer as well, and when that timer runs out, it automatically switches to another planet, which is kind of cool. But what they're doing on all of the, I guess they said the world loot pool, that they're bringing back a lot of some of the old group of weapons, and Cosmodrome, they're bringing back all of the Seraph weapons that we played with a long time ago. And the nice thing about it is now they're all tiered with multiple loot pools. They have heel clip on here, surrounded, all kinds of different ways you can get these weapons. So they're not static rolls anymore. These are just some of the different things they were talking about. On Nessus, they're bringing back the echoing reprisal weapons like the Pluperfect here that they show in this. I love this auto rifle. This was one of the heavy hitting, slow firing, the high impact frame auto rifles. This was a fun rifle to use, but the problem was back then it wasn't very strong, but it was really fun to use. And so the Pluperfect weapons are coming back to Nessus. That makes perfect sense because it's all about the Vex. So Europa, they're going to keep the same weapons that they've had there now, but of course, all of these now are going to have up to tier 5 columns and stuff on them, which is kind of nice. And they said over the past few years, Destiny 2 has focused more attention on structured campaigns, exciting playlists, and challenging cooperative activities. This has led to patrol mode feeling a little left behind without strong rewards or clear reasons to return. And yes, I still ran them even though there was nothing really to get. Many players have had little incentive to explore the wilds of Sol. To remind Guardians of the allure of wandering these worlds, we're introducing a new feature on 7 destinations called Distortions. Every hour, a destination planet becomes the focus of distortions. The sky tears open, reality distorts, and corruption spreads. While distorted, the planet's enemies are empowered, and you can see in this picture here that the enemies actually become distorted as well, and they become a little harder to kill. I mean, they're not like super hard to kill. They mentioned that it may
use the word. You may occasionally find encounters that test the skills of even veteran Guardians.
Yes.
It will be hard at times.
Good. As long as the loot is there and that helps. And like I just told you, when there is a distortion going on, you'll see the red outline on the moments of triumph up here.
Will people complain like, I can't get my tier 5 stuff because it's too hard?
I don't think so.
People have done that for years. I think they will again too.
I don't think patrol areas are going to be too difficult. We'll see. Maybe I'm eating my words here, but they're over. What's that, PP?
Just said num.
Exactly. They're redoing the fire team ops. The portal system. I'm not going to even go into this because no one cares about the portal. But they're basically making it where you don't have to mix and match a bunch of stuff. Their main thing was jump in and play. And if you're doing whatever difficulty now is what they're going to base the tier loot on. So if you're playing Ultimate like I was and you just satisfactorily finish it, you're going to get guaranteed tier 5 stuff. So That's the main thing. If you're playing it advanced, if your power level is not quite up there and you get a B, you get tier 2. And there's a little chart on here you can look at on the developer update that'll show you that. And they're just showing here that they've simplified quite a bit. If you want to add more, people are asking like, well, why do I need to add more difficulty then? Well, because some people like to challenge themselves, and there you go. There's going to be all kinds of variety to the loot system. Iron Banner, Gambit, Sparrow Racing League, we're going to get into that. Trials of Osiris, Crucible Ops, all kinds of new loot pools. And all of these loot pools, by the way, are going to have all the tiered weapons and armor. So that's going to be pretty cool. They've simplified Onslaught, Contest of Elders, the Coil. They made it much easier to play. And what they're doing with a lot of these multiple difficulty or multiple level, these activities that get harder the longer you go in them, they're going to start it off at a fairly easy level, and then they'll start ramping it up to whatever difficulty you chose towards the end. So it'll slowly warm you up into these. Nobody plays these anyway, but anyway, Gambit Ops is now going to be in the Portal system, and they've revamped all of a lot of the classic Gambit weapons, like the spare rations they're showing here as all tiered loot and stuff, which is really cool. 21% Delirium is here now, which is kind of cool. A lot of the Gambit weapons. They didn't want to share or give away too much, but they just showed a couple of the weapons there. Crucible playlist. They said that Control will always be a permanent fixture in the Crucible playlist, and then when Iron Banner moves into town, it'll be Iron Banner Control, and then of course they'll have an extra type of game mode too, like they always have had. That'll be coming every month, by the way, so I'll be definitely jumping in and playing with that. Heavy Metal. Do I have to talk about this? They're making they're bringing in a different vehicle in here, and they're making some changes to that as well. Just check it out in the
Twisted Metal? No way.
No, not Twisted. Did I say Twisted? I was going to say, damn.
No,
I say
you
Twisted?
didn't.
Okay.
You didn't.
The return. I do want to read this. This is the return of the Sparrow League, because a lot of people did not play Destiny 1, have no idea what I'm talking about, and I want to just share this real quick. The long-awaited and frequently requested Sparrow Racing League, SRL, is returning to Destiny 2. This isn't just SRL coming back as you remember it, though. We've brought the mode forward with a set of updates aimed at making races feel faster, livelier, and a bit more chaotic from lap to lap. Ghost returns as your SRL announcer along with Shaxx. There's nothing more motivating than Shaxx screaming at you to push for first place after your opponent just took the inside of a turn on Mercury. Skimmers are also joining the fun, allowing you to choose between Sparrow or Skimmer before hopping into the 3-lap race against 5 other players. Players won't have access to rail grinds. Well, that makes sense. Or manual jumping as a Skimmer, or be able to use Destabilizer for rolls or flips as a Sparrow. In fact, we've done a ton of work under the hood to make sure that using either vehicle, SRL feels equally advantageous to players. So whatever you're comfortable using, use that. Speaking of under the hood, we've also updated SRL to support photo finish moments at the end of the race. Close finishes can now properly assess ties, which means when 2 racers hit the line nearly at the same time, the results screen can better reflect the outcome. We know the mantra, if you're not first, you're last, but our goal in SRL is to bring the chaos and friendly competition to the forefront, and so tying means you both get equally great rewards. A couple of new mechanics have been added to SRL. Rocket Boost rewards players who nail their timing, hitting their gas just before the race begins. That's reaction time, fellas. That's what I love doing at the strip, is that reaction time. So that's going to give you a little bonus, give you an early burst. Trick boost are just what they sound like. Land a trick successfully, and you'll get a boost. On PC, Sparrow, or Skimmer, tricks can also be remapped the same way emotes can, and updated the UI to support that. All 4 of the original SRR maps are returning, and we've got a brand new map called Quantum Circuit located in the Realm of the Nine. Avoid the Taken and enemies of the past while racing on its wild and intense Ribbon Road. Oh boy. I don't have good times on that Ribbon Road. Additionally, speed boost pads will also be added to specific shortcut paths on all maps to offset any gates missed. A change that we think, I used to love using those shortcuts, that we think will make taking riskier and tougher shortcuts more rewarding and viable. Finally, We've done some tuning on gate sizes, vehicle speeds, and rubber banding. I remember the rubber banding was so bad, to keep the pack together while still rewarding strong racing lines, smart shortcuts, and well-timed boost. We're excited for players to get their hands on all these updates and hear the brand new SRL music tracks when Sparrow Racing League. We got to do this one weekend, Kingsley. We got to all Sparrow race together. SRL rewards. There is an origin trait that you'll get on the armor and weapons. Featherweight is one of the origin. Basically, it's like lightweight. You'll have increased movement speed when you have it equipped. Revving up, fast movement builds up a charge. It gradually increases your health generation speed. Once you are fully revved, sprinting grants a speed booster. And then they have a dielectric drift if you have 4 pieces of this armor. Sliding while speed boosting is active jolts combatants in front of you. And for players looking for your vehicles, you can see there's a new Skimmer and a new Sparrow with the SRL logo on it, which is really nice. But here's what I got excited about. Look at these weapons, guys. These
that Omelon looks really
are
cool.
sexy as hell.
I like
man.
that Omelon.
These are sexy as hell, man. Tex Mechanica, Omelon. You got the Cassoid rocket launcher. You got the, what is that? The Vice fusion rifle. And is that Suros?
That's Hake. That's Hake.
Oh,
the bottom right.
God, that looks good. Damn, that looks good. Even the sword looks good. It's got a purple sheen to it. So those of you who are listening now, check out the article. It shows a really nice picture of all these. Man, this gets me excited to play SRL. So yeah, we'll just have to see. But that's it.
Are they bringing horns? Are they bringing horns?
Yes,
back?
horns are coming back. You'll be able to test them too. You'll be able to test them too.
Okay.
Before you buy them, you'll be able to test
them. You can use them out on patrol, just like Destiny 1.
Yes, you will be able to hunt people in patrol.
Do you remember, if anyone who played, to me, I was most impressed by the armor of Sparrow Racing League back in Destiny 1. They were like racing jumpsuits.
Yes.
And
I
remember, I don't
really
know if the base color was yellow, but I had mine all decked out in like a bright yellow.
It was gorgeous.
It was pretty fun.
I'm just curious how they take shares.
Get Glowhoo on that.
Oh.
Get Glowhoo on the.
She looked good because it didn't have a skirt. It had like just like a jumpsuit, with like a sleek looking helmet, and it was like all yellow.
You look like you look like you
really good.
Look like you were from Tron. I mean, I still got a lot of that armor from Destiny 1. It's gorgeous stuff, man. It reminds me of Guardian Games. Guardian Games has a lot of slick stuff like that too. Yeah. But yeah, SRL was really slick. I love they didn't show any of the armor, by the way. They want to leave something to be a surprise, you know? Thank goodness they're not telling us everything, but that's it. That's the entire article. Anything you wanted to add, Kingsley? Something I forgot mainly, or did I cover it pretty well?
No, I mean, this is going to be one of the least interesting articles to me. They're going to have more stuff coming out with raids and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm still waiting to hear, I hope against hope, that the returning bosses aren't going to be only in Pantheon, or if they are, they'll have a normal version, because we need people to experience them again that don't want to do a sweat Pantheon version.
Right.
But other than that, for this week, I mean, I'm excited for new content. When I say content, I mean actual activities, not weapons. I'm like, couldn't care less. I mean, especially since the game is not going to be live service anymore. I already have really good weapons. So I don't know why I'm caring about grinding for these other ones.
We need more weapons. More weapons. Thank you.
But the activities, I'm definitely going to check out the distortions. I'm going to be checking out Sparrow Racing League tons. And I'm looking forward to when we get more details on the raid stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited about doing patrols now. I hope they do something to Lost Sectors. I really do. That'd be really cool too.
I don't think so.
I know.
They would have.
I hope they put sparrows in Forza.
That would be really cool.
It would be. Yeah.
Have it like a DLC pack or something, you know?
They'll probably have it in that Star Wars racer game that's coming out, since they already have the Star Wars and Destiny. They'll probably have some kind of Destiny crossover with that, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's coming out soon too. With the Pod Racers? I can't remember the name of it.
Galactic Racers, I think.
Racers, yeah. I saw that last night. I was going through the PlayStation store last night. I was like, I want that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no. Chill out. One game at a time, Todd. Tomorrow they are going to be releasing a Sandbox developer inside article, raid and dungeon updates, a tower vendor attunement, and more in our second devs article tomorrow and this week in Destiny. Unfortunately, we're live tonight, but for you audio listeners, I will talk about it and put it in post. So just know that it'll be in our audio version of our podcast. Sorry, guys, it won't be in tonight because we haven't had it yet. We don't have it. So we can only talk about
the Discord. You can get all the info there too.
Exactly. I'm sure Kingsley will post all the articles and stuff, and even just our Destiny news channel.
Well, they auto post in the news channel, but just if people want to talk about it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Another reason to join the Discord, or if you're already in the Discord, check it out more, because whether you want to talk about Destiny or other stuff, we have other stuff channels. We have Destiny channel, and we get in even bigger conversations in the Discord. So check it out if you want.
Exactly. I tried to go through it as quick as I could. So there we go. Let's go to our catch-up segment. I'm curious to see what these guys have been doing since we talked with them last. And I got a couple movie reviews, too, I want to mention tonight. We'll do that right after this.
Hey, this is Beryl Barley, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable.
All right, boys and girls, this is the part of the show where we just kind of sit back and catch up and see where everybody's been and what they've been doing since we talked with them last. I'll start with you, Belle. I think you have been here haven't been here the longest, because I think PP Pipe was here in a Women in Gaming roundtable we did. So she's been here before you. So I'll start with you, man. Catch us up, man. What's going on in the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast? Fill me in, man. What's going on? I don't get to talk to you very often.
Well, I mean, going on over in DPS, we're ever growing, getting new people kind of weekly or so.
Nice.
Getting them onboarded, just finding fun games, playing games with friends. Like I said earlier, we just kind of celebrated 111 episodes.
That's awesome.
We did have like a big bang thing going on for episode 100. That was a really big milestone for us. And we're starting to get a little bit more traction on our Dungeons and Dragons podcast as well, which is Dungeons, Death Saves, and Dice, Triple D. So we're going to be recording a little bit more on that here probably within the next month or so. We're going to start doing another series on that. I've been playing a lot of D&D like in person. It's actually really nice. I just went to my DM's wedding. Her and her now husband actually works with me. So we're all kind of like a really tight-knit group. So I've been doing some IRL stuff as well. Their wedding was great. It was super fun. We actually we have a picture of all of our characters kind of done up in AI, whereas like they were doing like a selfie, but it's like, like a moon elf, an orc, an Aarakocra, like all of them. And they're all kind of doing like a peace sign and stuff. So we recreated that at the wedding because the whole group was there. And we did that like an IRL picture kind of thing. So that was really, really cool.
I wanted to ask you, how long's your campaign been going on now? Your D&D?
The IRL one, probably it's over a year now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's over a year. We meet up like we try to do once a month, if not every other month. It's not like it's been super long, but I mean the campaign, we basically are about to finish up Act 1.
Okay.
We're on the last part of like the final boss.
Wow.
And then there's 3 acts. So this is going to be going on for another couple of years probably.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which I've already made preparations because I do plan to move hopefully within this year.
Okay.
So, but we've already been testing a lot of the Discord stuff and everything else.
You're going to be moving to Texas?
Yep. That's the plan. That is the plan.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to share that. He said it was up to you, PP Pipe. Do you want to share it?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he can come down here this year and take me out on a few dates or something.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little long distance relationship going on right now?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been trying to fly out there or fly her here at least every 2 to 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'll be going out there here in about 3 weeks or so.
Cool deal, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just know
there's going to be
you met in GDC.
Yes.
I want full credit. I want full credit.
Yes,
right.
We did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
The wedding will be a live show. Okay?
Nice. I love it.
And you're not invited, Todd. No, I'm just playing. No, I mean, it's just with that going on, trying to get everything with the house situated and stuff with work situated and all this other stuff. Like I'm trying to fight for a raise right now just so I can go to another dealership and be like, this is what I got paid. So I can get like a double raise.
Keep the comps.
Trying to do a lot of stuff at work. Yeah, to try to get up on that as well.
I got you.
I mean, IRL stuff, realistically, it's just work and then coming home and doing what I can on the house. getting friends from work to come over and try to buy all my junk, try to get it out of here, which actually is going surprisingly well. Technicians really love junk for some reason.
Nice.
It's great. I'm like, hey, I got an old toolbox. Like, dude, I'll give you $100. Like, take it, bro. Just
Nice.
take it.
I love it. Mechanics, man, I'm telling you, they can build anything. They know what raw materials are, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just stuff like that. And then, like I said, when it comes to games and stuff, just playing with friends, checking out new games as much as I can. Definitely found some duds. Definitely found some gems. So it's been nice to go, like the past 2-3 years I've been on that journey since I stopped playing Destiny 2 at the end of Final Shape.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to be a part of the episodes or echoes or whatever they called those things.
Right.
I was like, I played a little bit of the first one. I was like, nah, this is it for me. And just the journey going out past that and finding all these other games and meeting a lot of new people playing these different games. Like once I stopped playing Destiny, that's when I started getting into D&D. So I met a lot more people online, did some stuff online, and now I'm DMing, playing, for a lot of other people, like from work, we're having work parties and stuff, doing stuff like that. It's been awesome. It has been great.
Nice, man. Oh man, it's good to talk with you, man. I know I was on your show, I don't know, about 12 episodes ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time. It's so easy to hang out with you guys and just shoot the shit and talk and those top 10 lists. Holy shit. Rodimus kills me.
Yeah, they still trigger me too. Yeah, we finally got Ryan back too.
I know.
He's
Panda's
finally back in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big for me. I missed him so much. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, I've raided with him.
I've had lunch with him.
Yeah.
I've had lunch with him before. He's a great guy. So it's really cool to have him back, and he's kind of getting us a little into Destiny again. I started doing a couple raids for nostalgia purposes, and I haven't played much anything with him in about a year and a half. So I was like, okay, I'll download it again. I'll play with you. And I mean, I told him, I said, I had a good time, but it wasn't that much of a fun time because like I've played these raids, there's no reason to grind it for me. I've gotten all the exotics in the past. So there's no point, but to just have fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I just had a good time with them.
You'll at least start getting tiered loot if you start playing some raids with them. After June 9th, they'll be tiered loot.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they're saying. Like, you should play it then because you'll get. I was like, I don't care about that stuff, I know, man. I don't care about that stuff.
I got you.
But it's just fun to solve the puzzles together and get that victory screen. I will say the new damage numbers were a shock to me from back when I used to play. I was like, dude, I did 20K. What was I doing? It's like, no, that's actually pretty decent. I was like, what? I was like, what, dude?
Yeah, you got to at least play the new dungeon. The new dungeon's fun. You'll have fun doing the new dungeon. That was really good. The Star Wars inspired one.
Is that? Really, oh, I haven't.
Equilibrium.
I'm not gonna buy that expansion.
It's really fun, man.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay any money towards that right now.
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, PP Pipe, what have you been doing? What you been up to?
Well, I moved recently.
You did?
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny. I'm in the same apartment building. Like I went from floor 1 to floor 3. So it's not like I moved far.
Are you looking to get more room because you're grown, kids growing up?
Yeah, I was in a 1-bedroom and this is a 2-bedroom.
Nice.
So I have been really enjoying my space back. I have been sharing a room with either my kid or some guy I dated forever ago, for the past like 10 years, Like I really haven't had my own bedroom for a long time.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And it feels really good to just be able to like lock my door again and be like, goodbye, social. Like I'm going to go in my room. I have my TV.
Nighty-night.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having to like tiptoe past her, because she's in bed obviously way before I would be. And so moving has been really nice. Really, really nice. I'm so glad that I have a bigger place to spread out.
That's cool.
And I've been looking for a different job. I have an interview tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
You have an uncanny ability of making any car look fantastic. You are the glamour shot for cars. You even gave me a few tips when I was trying to get my Tundra, a picture of my Tundra, and you're like, here's what you do. You do this. You get your camera like right there. And I was like, oh man, it looks so much better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be at an automotive like store.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll be like, it's more like retail kind of situation, but I'm pretty confident that when I walk in there, they're probably going to hire me. So I'm pretty confident for my interview tomorrow.
That's nice.
So I'm excited about that. Kiddo just got done with school for the summer,
That's right.
and we've gone to the pool a couple times. We got a couple plans coming up this summer. When Belle comes to visit, he's already met her before, so we've got some things to do.
Okay.
The three of us and just the two of us. It'll be a good time.
That's nice.
It'll be a good time. Yeah.
Do you have
She likes it a lot.
do you have a good babysitter?
Yeah, it's my mom.
Oh man, you're lucking out. Shoot, mom.
Yeah.
Mom's cheap too. Mom's cheap.
Yeah. She cooks, she cleans, she
Nice.
picks up after my kids, she
Love
does the
it.
laundry. I mean, what how much better could that get?
The greatest thing about having a grandchild is you spoil them to death, and then they come and take them away, and you're like, okay, that was fun. See ya.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
So my mom will be over like every other week for
Okay.
the summer. And so she'll stay. And this is another huge deal about this 2-bedroom. And so when she comes to stay, she doesn't have to stay on the couch anymore.
Nice.
She can actually stay in Kiddo's room because she's got a bunk bed.
Oh, perfect.
So it's like my mom, my kid are way over there. And the way the apartment is set up is like one bedroom is on one side, the other bedroom's on the other side, the
Split.
living space is in the middle. So it's really nice to be able to play games, get on my headset, watch movies without thinking that I'm disturbing them.
Gotcha. Yeah. Housing, they call it a split plan. That was big in the 70s and 80s because no one wanted their kids to wake them up or whatever else was going on in the house. But you know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
yeah. It's nice. That's definitely nice. Yeah. Yeah. That's really
And she's
cool.
not like a little kid anymore. You know, she's not 2 or 3
yeah.
where I need to like really like hone in and watch her.
No.
I mean, she's 9 years old. She's getting dressed by herself. She showers by herself.
Keeping herself
hair.
busy. That's the one thing I noticed
Yeah.
about my 2-year-old grandson is you got to keep an eye on him, man. His little legs are
Mhm.
pumping, man. You got to, where the hell did he go? And our
Yeah,
house
yeah.
isn't childproof, so we're like eagle eye like all the time. But,
For sure.
yeah. That is so cool. Well, hey, good luck on the job tomorrow. Good luck on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. It's a lot of fun. Kingsley Mack, you want to bring us to speed? What you been doing this week, man? What's going on?
Yeah, wanted to talk about TV stuff and
Yes.
gaming stuff.
Well, definitely want to talk about the one thing, the Survivor finale.
Yeah, so I forgot this. Oh no!
We
Yeah,
won't
do you
I'm
watch it?
kidding. No.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
No, because I could. Okay. All
I
right,
do,
cool.
but I haven't
So-
watched the most recent one.
Okay.
So.
Well,
What do you think, Todd?
she
So
won't.
excited to
It's all
talk about
good.
this week.
She won't know. She won't know what we're talking
Some people
about.
in the chat, like, I don't want to spoil it for other people.
Just say it. Just say it. If they haven't seen it, they haven't seen it.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to first go back a little bit. Like, I forgot that Todd occasionally watches it also. The headphones are off, I see.
I haven't watched
Oh, geez.
Survivor in a decade, and when I heard 50 was coming out, and I heard that a lot of the people that I watched
Mhm.
were on the show. I was like, oh, I was rooting for the old people, man. I was rooting for the OGs.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, like I watched it every year for many years, and then I kind of died off a little bit 8-ish years ago and watched a few here and there, but finally coming back for season 50 and kind of being like a returning player type thing. I'm like, I got to watch this again.
Yeah.
And it's an excellent season.
Oh, it's really good.
Now, first
So
of
many
all,
twists.
You liked you, Becky? You weirdo.
There were a lot of twists, man. I loved it. I mean, but
you liked you, Becky?
I just love the fact that the fans decided on a lot of the different things. I
No,
like that guy.
you, Becky.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that guy. He's a professor, right? Yeah.
But anyways, okay. Who were you happy with? Who won? Who did you want to win?
I was really pissed that what's his name didn't use the idol for the third time. Who?
Ozzy.
Ozzy. Yeah, I wanted Ozzy to win because he's
someone else.
I at the end I wanted. Was it what was the of the three people? The one guy. This is how long it's been last I watched it. But the one guy who taught Rizgod to start. I really thought he should have won just for the fact that he tried to teach Rizgod how to start fire. Rizzo.
Mm-hmm. There's a dude named Rizgod.
Well, he calls himself Rizgod. He's a young guy. He's a little pompous.
Like he thinks he's so cool. Like he can outplay all these other players.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, everyone knew they weren't going to let him get to the finale, and they kind of voted him off. They used him as
he would have been my first vote off.
They used him as a name.
He got
like a shield, and then they voted him off at the end. But
yeah, he got lucky because he got
Suri to win.
I wanted Suri to win.
But since Suri got voted out, I'm actually happy with how it turned out. I think her winning is actually such a cool swan song story of like going through it so many times. Yeah. And see, I didn't even use a name, but of course I did say a gender. But
we'll motion her when we're done talking about it.
Yeah, I was really happy how it turned out. The ending was perfect, and of the three that ended up, she was the most deserving of the three.
I think I think Suri should have won because she played that game perfectly. I think whatever the finals is, I won't name it. I think that she was just in the middle. She was just went incognito for the longest time, where she was under the radar.
Yeah, really smart.
She is smart, and she flipped. She flipped whenever she needed to flip. But I really wanted Suri to win because she's been so many times has not won.
Me too. But the three that were at the end, do you think she was the best choice, or would you still pick someone else?
Suri was like a mafia boss.
Of the three at the end.
Oh, the three at the end.
Was she the best choice for women?
I obviously the guy who was physically fit and won all the. I think
you wanted him to win.
I actually didn't. I wanted the guy in the middle to win that got no votes. I wanted him to win just because he showed his true character when he helped Riz at least have a fair chance of beating in the fire making competition at the end.
Survivor's a social game, and you have to understand, and a lot of this came out behind the scenes too. He annoyed everyone.
Joe's his name, I think.
Annoy people, Joe, and if you annoy people, you're not gonna win.
And he did have to be babysat by Suri a lot.
Yep.
So that probably shows his weakness. But anyway, we can
finish this. So
you can come back in now. You can come back in. Come on. Yeah, come on.
Yes, we're done.
We're done. We won't spoil anything. We're done. We're done talking about Survivor.
So, yeah.
I've been watching older seasons.
Yeah.
And I may eventually get to 50. So
I'm thinking about watching season 49 because I have Paramount Plus. I can just go back and watch all the seasons.
I got to see how stupid Rizgod was in 49.
I want to see how he became where he became. You know what I'm saying? So anyway.
So and it's nothing to do with
the worst
anything.
Probably.
But video gaming, a lot of fun things going on. First of all, on the Destiny front, it has been interesting. One of the good things about finally making this decision to, end the live service part of it is it's gotten a lot of publicity, good or bad, and people are coming back. Not tons, but people. We've been raiding tons this last weekend, and I know it was Memorial Day weekend also, so that was maybe a little out of the blue, but. People are wanting to raid again and do certain things. So shout out to all the raids I've been in. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's not like this is going to stay forever, but while people are interested in raiding, it'll be fun for me. That's for sure.
Nice, man.
And otherwise I've kind of been slowing down on Diablo because I've gotten my character all maxed out to where I like. And honestly, the new season's less than a month away. So I'm kind of good pausing on that for a bit.
Okay.
I was going to go back a little bit into Warframe. I was thinking I did a little bit of Division. I need to do some more because the final capstone seasonal mission is out. But I may want to wait to group up with some buds there like a Zombie or HE Tech or something because I actually do, now that even more so than Destiny, now I'm at a certain point of, this goes back to our earlier conversation with Division. I've done all the stuff solo that I want to do. Now I only want to play that game with friends because, a couple of reasons, because the things are going to be group up a lot of times anyways, but it's just a good experience playing with friends. in Division. But I was trying to think last night. I'm like, I kind of do want a palate cleanser of live service. I mean, I was also, like Warframe, Diablo, tons, Destiny, Division. I'm like, which single player? And I know there's new ones. Like I almost downloaded Pragmata, and I still think I want to get into that game because I know it's good. But I re-downloaded last night, and I'm happy. It's not a bad decision. I know some people really love this game too. I re-downloaded Cyberpunk. I'm going to be so excited playing through that game. That's such a good game.
Yeah, I still got it too. It's in my library. I just
the amount of detail that they put in
really
is freaking amazing. So the eye candy is there for me. Like just every corner you turn, there's just so much detail of everything.
Okay.
And the quests are really fun. The music is a banger the whole way through the game.
It's Keanu Reeves too.
Yeah. So I'm just really excited to kind of just have a palette because it's been a while since I played that game, and it'll be newish for me going through it again and probably making different decisions too. There's some light RPG to it. You can spec into some points here and there, and that's kind of like my style. I'm more of an action RPG light type of guy. So like a game like Cyberpunk that has tons of exploration is really fun for me.
I saw you had it on last night. I was like, oh, wow.
Into it.
I was surprised. I didn't know you were into Cyberpunk. That's cool.
Oh, I played through the whole thing in the campaign before, but I'm just going to be doing it again.
Nice, man.
Kingsley, didn't you get Soulframe?
Yes, and I need to do that some more too.
The new Prelude completely changed the prisms. So like you don't have the actual like triangular prisms anymore. You have a dot on one prism, and you can move it, and it actually changes your stats either for spirit, courage, or
that's good.
Yeah. So they reworked that, and it's way more intuitive now, and it's way better for like build crafting in the game.
Oh, I got you. Well, I never thought it was, and I haven't played it that much, but I never thought it was like bad or anything or not intuitive. But like I think what you're mentioning will be good, and they're working on it. They're doing good things. I do have to mention that did remind me of one other thing. It's not a fair review yet. It's just an early review, but I hopped into World of Warcraft.
I saw that too. That too. I did.
What? That is a surprise.
What is going on here?
Holy crap.
I don't know. What am I going to say? See,
I know. I almost pulled that trigger a while ago, and then something else came out. And I was like, okay, good. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I know better.
I played WoW. I did. I spent a long time
into it because this game is obviously heavier on the RPG side.
Yeah.
And for me, I prefer, and look, I know it's a game that's just been built upon for years, but I think that the menus, the interface, and everything's pretty janky. I think the movement's kind of janky. I think the action part's kind of slow. Of like,
it's rotations. It's not really like action RPG. It's like you stand there and do your rotation, and hopefully, something procs well, and
into it. I'm going to try to be fair, but like once I started seeing that, it just didn't get me as excited to like put a lot of time into it right away. So I need to put a couple more hours in before I'm a little more fair. But I know even that's not fair because that's going to be scratching the surface 0.15%. But like still though, I mean, like I kept seeing it next to Diablo in the Blizzard launcher. I'm like, okay, I'll download it finally.
Yeah.
So
I've been watching.
So to be determined.
I don't know why I just said this. I was thinking about that whole Survivor shit.
Yeah.
I've been watching Lost.
Oh.
I never saw it before.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And so my friend told me that they were watching it, and I was like, what's that about? And so I started season 1.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that each season had like 20 episodes. Okay.
It's huge.
And so I'm at the very end of season 2. I believe there's 5 seasons. So I just got to the end of it. No spoilies, but
no, I won't.
But it was it's been great, man. I'm addicted to it. I've been watching like 2 or 3 a day.
You got to watch it. I've watched it all the way through 3 times, and I still learn.
Wow.
Things. So you can learn new. There's so much secret and lore built in there that there's like whole Wikipedia Reddits and things you can go to of just figuring it all out. But like, that show is one of my top shows of all time.
I've watched a few different series multiple times. Like I've watched Severance multiple times. I've watched Breaking Bad. I've watched Weeds
Yeah.
multiple times. Just I am a very, what is that called when you have like your comfort shows or your like comfort games, or whatever. Like I'll sit there and play Sims and watch a show from 2009 and I don't give any. Yeah, I just enjoy my comfort space.
Yeah.
I am glad
Cool.
though that
Yeah,
when I
it's a good show.
started Destiny, I came in as a kindergarten
Mhm.
and I graduated a kindergarten. So hey, I didn't go nowhere. but
Yeah, Tanker
but
Cowan. Look up Lost on Google. It's a 90s show. It's really good.
No, it's not. It's 2000s.
All right. Aughts.
little tiny thing. It's people that crashed onto an island and the island's kind of weird.
It came
I'll
out in
just say that.
2004.
Yeah.
2004? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's been great.
There's been,
Think of like
yeah,
sci-fi Twilight Zone mixed with
it's
adventure, getting stranded on a stranded
and
island.
don't if you do
Granddad.
watch it, don't try to make sense of it. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Because at the end, it'll kind of explain. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Okay.
Not everything though.
Did you get a chance to talk about everything, Kingsley? I want to make sure I didn't cut you off.
I
Something
am
else you want to mention?
great.
Okay.
Pass the time over to you.
I'll be pretty quick here because we have some questions I want to answer before we go tonight. I've kind of hit the wall on Arc Raiders. I'll jump in and play a couple raids. They call them raids. I'll play a couple games, just to jump in and look around and admire the world, which is just beautiful. But I actually decided to fire up several games this week. I've actually tried Division 2. I played a few hours of that. Diablo 4. I think I've got about 4 hours in that. Elden Ring I played last night, and I started a brand new character because it's been so long since I played it. I just wanted to start over and learn it all over again. And man, is it me or is the camera got me a little motion sickness? I was adjusting the camera speed, and I was getting a little weirded out with the camera. Maybe I was just up late. Might have been that. I played a new game, or not a new game, but Metaphor ReFantazio. That is a strange game, man. But I tell you what, it's an anime game, and the art style is really funky on it. But
I'd never thought you would play a JRPG,
dude. Hey, look, I said, you know what?
Holy crap!
I'm in that. I
am shocked, surprised, and proud.
I'm in that mode where I'm trying to find the next thing that's going to grab me, and it was there's a lot of front end stuff to watch, and when I first started the game up. But I played Pragmata. That is going to be a fun game. The hacking the controls are very easy. They come to me very quickly, being a Destiny player, and it's very much in space. The story makes sense. It's really fun. You already are kind of feeling for the android girl that is hanging on your back all the time. And I've only got about an hour and a half into that game, but I got through the first prologue part, and that's gonna be a fun game. I definitely can't wait to play that. I actually downloaded Helldivers 2, Jedi Survivor, and Hogwarts Legacy. Those are all very well priced on PlayStation Plus. Hogwarts Legacy was free.
I love Hogwarts. I played all of it. I played heavily that game.
Loves that game, and if Sin likes that game, me and him have very similar play styles.
I loved it too.
Oh, okay. I got to try it out. I got to at least see what it's about.
For some reason, I would love to play Helldivers with you.
I didn't finish Hogwarts.
Being an exterminator.
I really enjoyed it.
You're shooting bugs. I mean, and Starship Troopers, come on, man. It was like one of my favorite cult movies of all time. I also have Borderlands.
I would drop so many stratagems on you.
Okay. I see, that's the thing, because I heard they leave them all in. So you jump in, you can just start doing them. I've got Borderlands 4 queued up. I want to finish what we started there, Kingsley. I got Star Wars Outlaw queued up as well. Star Wars Outlaws was a really good price. You said that was a good game?
Diablo with you than Borderlands.
Yeah. So, and let me ask you this. The leveling up I'm doing right now in Diablo 4, that's all going to reset in a few weeks for the seasonal thing?
For the seasonal stuff, yeah. But you don't lose the character.
I know, but
it doesn't suck.
The level the character stays the same. It's just you have to, what? I haven't even gotten into the seasonal stuff yet. I'm just doing the prologue. I'll figure
Don't
it
act
out.
surprised again. We've explained this
it
a
out.
million times.
I'll
It's like
figure it out. Don't
Marathon
worry.
2. But how Diablo works is the main part of the game is seasonal stuff.
Oh.
And so you're supposed to create new characters, and it's all new stuff when a new season comes around. Your characters don't go poof at the end. They get converted to an Eternal Realm character. You can still run around on that if you really want, but you won't be able to do the new seasonal stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
unless
I'm
you
not
create a
even
new
there yet.
character.
I'm still in the
You
prologue stuff. I'm still playing the story. I'm playing the campaign. That's what everybody told me to do. So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
playing the main
fine.
story.
You know, the character's not going to go poof, especially for campaign.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. We kind of chilled out with the raid team this week, and we played some private Jackbox games. And man, I got to tell you, that was a lot of fun. I love Jackbox. I mean, I actually played the first 90s games. They were called You Don't Know Jack back then. They were trivia games.
Me too.
I played them on my PC like at night just against the computer, and it was so much fun.
Yes.
I love that game. I was always freaking out at the end, trying to punch all the names at the end. It was always so much fun, and we ran out of time. Yes, so good, so good. That brought back some member berries. I don't know. We're going to do something Saturday night. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do, but we'll do that. I got 2 movies I want to talk about. My wife and I went and saw 2 movies at the theater this week using my AMC Stubs A-List membership. I can see 4 movies free every week, any format or screen, and I know I don't get paid to say that. We first saw a new action movie called In the Gray. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill. Rosamund Pike and Aiza Gonzalez also starred in this. It's about a high-level corporate company that loans money to these black market billionaires. They're kind of tyrants and just the worst type of people, but they're very powerful people. And Jake and Henry are these elite operatives that have to enforce the collections process and protect the account executive, which Gonzalez played that. It's your typical kick-ass action flick, but it's Guy Ritchie, man. When Guy Ritchie's behind the movie, it's a little bit more nuanced. It's not just your normal action flick. I really enjoyed it. I was entertained, especially the banter between Jake and Henry. The comedy lines were really funny. Solid action film. I gave it 4 stars. Very good movie. Definitely want to see that when it comes out to the streaming services. The other film I saw in the Dolby Theater just last night was The Mandalorian and Grogu. This is the popular series, if you don't know, but this is the movie adaptation of it. And it takes place after the fall of the Empire, where the warlords are kind of absorbing power in the Outer Rim. And Mando comes in and is in the process of hunting down bosses from the Empire's forces that have become, these warlords. I don't want to give anything away, but I'll just say that if you've seen the series, you'll enjoy the movie. The writing to me was a little weak. It reminded me of the old Star Wars movies where the dialogue was really plain, especially with Sigourney Weaver, just really terrible dialogue. But I was able to overlook it because I'm a Star Wars fan, and the most part, it's a fun movie to watch. Just don't expect any major plot twist or any lore or anything to be popping in. It was really good. They really focused on the Hutt family. That was really cool. And it's a good film. 3.5 stars. If you do see it, make sure you watch it on IMAX or Dolby if you're going to actually pay money to go watch it at the theater. Don't watch it on a regular screen. That's a total waste. So that was me. That's me this week. Hey, before we go tonight, we got some questions in the Discord that I want to make sure we answer, and we'll do that right after this. Hey, Guardians, if you would like to ask us a question for the show, head over to GuardianDownCast.com to send us a voicemail or email us with your question. However, the best way to send us a question is to write it out in our podcast questions channel in our Discord community. You can access it on the Discord app on your phone or on the web. It's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. Don't think about it. Just do it. Do it right now. The links are in our show notes. Later, Guardians. Before we go tonight, I want to answer some questions from our community. And External Barge had a question. He said, should Bungie be held accountable for lying to the Destiny community? Saying Destiny wasn't going anywhere. If you remember, Luke Smith did say something to that effect, that Destiny wasn't going anywhere. And I mean, what do you guys think? Is it considered lying? Or, I mean, the way I look at it, things change. And
yeah, things change.
Nobody has a crystal ball. They can't guarantee.
You can't hold someone to what they say later being the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much time that passed, but they were saying it for the moment in the foreseeable future.
Right.
I think if we look back, that was a few to several years ago.
Yeah.
And
that was.
But also things change. Like, you say like, I'm not going to get in an accident or whatever. Things happen, but, they were. It would only be if like we found out at the time that like, we're saying this as a trick, but like that stuff information that probably would have leaked out by now. So
remember,
they had all intentions at the time. It wasn't a lie.
Luke Smith doesn't work at Bungie anymore, and it didn't matter because Sony now owns Bungie, so he really doesn't have any say in this. So I don't know. I'm still going by last week's article. It's so cryptic the way they phrased everything, and I want to think it's copium, but I don't know. We'll see if there's something mysterious going on there. We won't know this week, so there's no reason to speculate on it. Thank you, External Barge. Appreciate that question, man. Next question is from Vampire the Gator. Have you signed the petition for Destiny 3 yet? There's a petition going around from change.org. And I think last time I checked, they had 250,000 signatures so far. I did sign it. I think, Kingsley, you did it too, right? Where we're petitioning Sony to make a Destiny 3 game. And I don't know. I don't know if it'll make any difference at all. I really don't know. I mean, Kingsley, you think it'll?
It won't.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
But the reason why I still have to sign something like this is because it's a data point where like maybe 10 years down the road, they can say like, we'll consider doing something because there was a big interest afterwards when they shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to do anything, at least not anything in the near term to medium term.
Tanker Callan had a question. With Destiny 2 losing live service updates, what if Bungie made a single-player game about Drifter's origins? This question popped up in my mind knowing Sony loves those single-player IPs. I have been talking about going back and doing separate character, let's talk about Ikora. Let's talk about, Valis. Let's talk about all these people, There's so much lore in this series. I'm really surprised they never came out with some type of streaming series, animated or not, about Destiny because it's such a rich game when it comes to characters and development and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know.
With this one,
yeah,
it's easy. It's not that they have a shortage of ideas. They were pitching all sorts of things, but it's about the money.
I think they're still
money
pitching
for that. They don't have money for any idea right now.
I think they're scrambling. They're pitching all kinds of things right now. What do you think there, Bill? You think break out single player IPs with different characters of Destiny? Would that be something that interests you? Or
I mean, yes and no. I mean, the lore of Destiny is really good.
Yeah,
I will say it's one of those. I mean, it's the Destiny of lore had like people had their own lore channels like Bife and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
And the lore itself is great. A game based off of like filling in the voids of some like learning new lore would be nice, but I don't think that another game would have any kind of traction, especially now. Even a couple of years ago, I don't think it would have enough traction for it to be a real thing. I think it'd be nice to have like a mode within Destiny 2 where you could go and do that.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. But a standalone game, no. I mean, once Sony took over, like Kingsley said, it's all about the money. So they would see that and project it and be like, nah, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah. I wish it. I definitely wish it because I loved and learned more about these characters. I really thought they would go back, and that's the direction they were going, is it's going back to talk about the Battle of Six Fronts and, how Shaxx and Zavala got into a little tiff over battle lines and not covering each other and things like that. I think that would be a good story basis, but like you said, it all costs money. So Tanker Callan, thanks for that question. Appreciate that. I'm just trying to speed run these because there was a lot of them this week. Kilvin, with this being the last content update, I'm curious what you guys will miss the most. No new stories, weapons, encounters, or something completely different from that. Bell, you've kind of moved on, but I'm sure there's something you would miss, right, from Destiny?
The thing I miss the most about Destiny is the flexibility of play.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you could be doing back when like the seasonal stuff and your rotational stuff kind of meant something, you could be doing that and then your buddy could be like, hey, we're about to do some private matches in Crucible, do you want to like jump in real quick? Yeah, right. Dude, you go in there, play for a couple of hours, and then it's like, hey, now that we're done with this, do you want to run a dungeon or you want to go do a raid? And it's like, yeah, dude, it was the flexibility of that game was really, really nice. And like, Crucible had, certain guns that you could use in PvE. PvE had certain guns that were really good in PvP.
Right.
So it was a really nice kind of like how one thing would lead to another in the game. But besides that, I don't really miss too much about it.
To answer this question, like for new stuff coming out that we won't have anymore, what I would miss the most is obviously no more new raids, and probably second place would be cool activities. Not all the seasonal activities are always cool, but some are pretty darn cool, and it's all about the content for me. So like, yeah, I'll have fun raiding with people down the road when we get groups together, but with no new content, I am not hopping in Destiny unless there's some friend group thing going on.
Yeah.
Because we're still getting the new activity, the patrol incursion things, whatever the hell they're called. I'll check that out, be excited to check that out and everything. But going forward, of course, is what this question's saying, like afterwards.
What do you
This
think,
may
Todd?
be a really
go ahead.
dumb question because I haven't played Destiny a ton. Like I'm pretty sure I came in at like Witch Queen and I left even before the final shape. So my silly question is, if I were to log in to Destiny now, would I still be able to finish things that I wanted to?
Absolutely. If you bought
Because
it.
I'm quite the completionist, and so I would want to be able to go back into the game and kind of like a game that I'd put like on the shelf.
Sure.
Like I can come back to it and play solo or play with somebody, but yeah, I guess my question is, if I were to log in, I could still go finish what I started.
The only thing that's missing from Destiny 2 is the Red War campaign, that and the Leviathan raid. So anything else is, obviously the seasonal stuff, no, you've missed that. But the final shape, the main campaigns, the main DLCs, absolutely, it's still there. They're actually going to be bundling everything into one really good price. In fact, I've already heard that PlayStation Plus, they're already lining it up for all of it to be free on PlayStation Plus or at some kind of discounted price. So it could be a good time because they're going to discount even separate DLCs. If you want to buy it a la carte, they're discounting that too for its final markdown too.
Price, because it is going to literally be everything. Always in the past, they wouldn't include.
Right.
There were still a few things they wouldn't include, like the 30th anniversary or the dungeon key or something like that. But if everything, literally everything, all raids, dungeons, like 30th anniversary stuff is like, let's say like $25, for some people it might be worth it, because then there's no question that you'll get all the raid stuff or whatever too that you might have missed out on. But
to answer Kelvin,
I don't think it could go any higher than that because it's not live service anymore, but they're still keeping the game running. They're not turning off the servers. And from what I can tell, I don't see that changing anytime within at least a year to a year and a half.
Right.
Sure, things could change a year down the road from now. They change their mind or whatever. But, what do you think? I think it shouldn't be much more than about $25 for everything.
Maybe $30. Big bundle, $30 for everything. My God, if you knew how much,
25,
how many thousands of hours there are in that content to keep you busy.
Yeah, but it's old and not
Exactly.
live service anymore. So
the one thing that I'm definitely going to miss, Kelvin, and this will probably hit me later after everything's dropped in June. I'm going to miss that first day of running the brand new DLC campaigns. That first day of jumping into the story to see what we're talking about next. I'm really going to miss the fact that the prophecy saga, we're never going to know how that ends. That's what I'm going to miss. But yeah,
it wasn't that good of a story, anyways.
I think it could have been, but I thought the prophecy campaign that we've played so far was fun. But anyway, that's just me. Thanks, Kelvin. Appreciate it.
The missions were fun, but the story, it was 10% as good as the Final Shape story, in my opinion. But
Final Shape's the pinnacle. I might even go back and replay. As you know, I have several accounts. I might actually go back and play the Final Shape campaign again on one of my other accounts just to reminisce, Zombie Pops. to add to the question, do you think the petition would work? I think we all agree.
Oh, yeah, we
that
already answered.
We don't,
Yeah.
I don't know if we think it's going to make any difference. Even if they had 1 million signatures, I don't know, man. Executives at Sony, I don't think.
It's not so much also about Sony paying attention or Bungie, but let's say they do get 1 million signatures. It's still something to be written in the history books. You know what I mean? Like that many people were excited for if there can be something else down the road.
Yeah.
And again, I would prefer a whole new game. That's first priority, like another PvE game, Bungie style, that's similar-ish to Destiny. But then my second most preference would be a Destiny 3.
Okay, some non-Destiny questions here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Vampire the Gator, is Helldiver 2 on your Game of the Month list? If you haven't already mentioned it, I apologize. I'm not up to date on the episodes yet. I've decided not to do a Game of the Month. I'm just going to do Gator's main game because, as we're finding out, I've been playing Arc Raiders for 200 hours now, which is definitely more than a month of play. So I'm definitely moving on from Arc Raiders, and I don't know what June's going to hold for me yet. I'm trying a bunch of different things. I'm just trying to see what sticks out there. So as of yet, I don't have an official announcement on that yet. Dadbot Hero, genuine question for the podcast. With Destiny 2 seemingly reaching the end of its major support cycle, what kind of goals do you all have for the future of the show? Will you plan to pivot in the future when it comes to content? I'm sure you're still digesting the news, but I'm curious. I know the show has been more of a roundtable style podcast, which I'm sure is part of why people enjoy it, but do you have any ideas for still implementing Destiny into the show going forward in some way? Will the, quote, Guardian moniker still stay? Well, let me answer that real quick. The Guardian moniker will always stay. Where I still consider everyone in our community Guardians, and it doesn't always have to be a Destiny Guardian. A Guardian is a wide-ranging character in gaming world, and that won't ever change. We'll all still be Guardians, in my eyes at least. Kingsley, let me ask you, man. What do you think?
Well, he asked it from both sides, but the first half, in case anyone's still not aware, but if you're listening to the podcast, you're aware, but I feel like there are still some people that aren't aware.
Could be.
It hasn't been Destiny focused percentage-wise for a while now.
Yeah.
What was it, February we made the change?
Yeah, it's been many months, 3 or 4 months now.
Destiny right now, and you would bring in the news things and stuff, but with the roundtable, a format that we changed to, we're usually just complaining about other things like live service games or whatever, but it wasn't Destiny so much as the talk. So format of the show changing, no, we already did change.
Yeah.
Unless you have some other idea, Todd, and I'm always listening.
Well, I mean, I'm just going back to me and you and our personal conversations about the future of the show and how we were tired of complaining about the same things when it came to Destiny. And as a listener, I think it was getting old that people were still making the same complaints over and over again about Destiny. And you agreed. I think we were both burnt out about complaining about the game. And I said, you know what? I have always loved roundtable type podcast. And there was one particular podcast in Cabin Mind. It was called the Podcasters Roundtable. It was a podcasting on podcasting. And what they would do is they would bring in people from their community that had an article about podcasting and they wanted to discuss it and they wanted to talk about it. And I always flocked to that show. And unfortunately, that show was canceled. The guy stopped producing it because he was trying to take care of his elderly dad. He was probably in his 40s, I think, that was running the podcast. And people in the podcasting industry have been crying for that podcast to come back. So that's where I based the Guardian Down Roundtable. It was based on that podcast. So I love being able to talk about different topics every week. And here's the reason I start with topics is because when I listen to a podcast, if it's not a topic I don't want to hear about, you just fast forward it. Just go to the next topic. Yeah, I made it very user friendly for people who watch or listen to the show. And this is no knock on anybody, but I always, with a lot of podcasts, not everybody's podcast, but with a lot of podcasts, I just want to get to the meat of the show. the catch up and the banter and stuff, I definitely want to do that. But there's a podcast that recently put it on the back end of the show, and I said, that didn't disrupt anything. It was still really fun, and the people who really love the show and really listen all the way through, they'll want to hear about the host, what they're up to and stuff. So that's the reason I formatted it that way, is because we get right to the heart of the matter in the shows every week. We've got, 2 to 4 topics every week. And if you don't like the topic, that's what the fast forward button is when you're listening or when you're watching. You just fast forward to the next topic. And none of the topics suit you, then hey, you move on to the next episode. I make it very simple. And this is just 7-8 years of podcasting experience under my belt. And I avidly ingest podcast. So I hear what others are doing in the podcasting world, and I've kind of curtailed it to what I like in podcasting and kind of merged it a little bit with what Kingsley likes. And we've come up with this new format, and we've done it we've already made the switch, Dad Bod Hero. So we made that switch a long time ago. But if there's some news in Destiny, like we hear a leak or something about a future game or something, obviously we're going to talk about it. We'll always have that in mind, but I don't think we're going to have a Destiny Roundup segment down the road because, let's face it, there's not going to be anything to talk about. There won't be any more TWABs, probably 2 or 3 weeks after June 9th. So that's probably when the Destiny
TWABs years ago.
Is there going to be a speed run?
Oh, yeah, I still do that. Yeah, I still, once a month, we still will hear from a new member in our community. And after the initial, patented questions that we ask all our guests, we'll do a speed run that I handpick the questions from. And I have a list of over 1,000 now. So I try to include one of the new ones in every time. I always have my favorites, but I try to mix them up best I can. So, yeah.
That's how I met Rodimus.
Is it?
But they're not speed runs anymore.
No, they're not.
Competition.
There's no contests or anything like that. It's mainly just like, well, I mean, he's not doing it anymore, but Stephen Colbert used to do the Colbert questionnaire or something. And it's kind of after that a little bit where we just get to know you at a deeper level. I mean, what's your favorite salty snack? Just curious if you like something that I like, And that's the great. But that's the great thing about having guests is you find someone who is like you, and then guess what? You want to game with them. That's what I love about the new member or the new new guest shows, which we try to do once a month. And we did a bunch of them like in 1 month. We did like 2 or 3. So we've had a little bit of a lapse. And if you didn't listen to it already or watch it, Necromancer, which has been a mod in our community for a long time, but he travels so much that I was able to lock him down to be on last week's show. And man, I never knew he was a hand gliding pilot. Holy shit. Things like that. You just never know about these people that you game with every day, And it's actually a callback to a guy from the Dad's Tales podcast that started his own podcast, and he would bring in people from the community to do interviews. And I thought, man, that's so much fun to listen to because you talk to these people in the Discord every day, but you really never really know them. So that's the reason why I still do the interviews with new guests at least once a month, try to at least. So yeah. So there you go.
I remember that first one for me, and that was a really cool episode.
It's fun.
And I appreciate how you guys set it out like that.
Well, we don't do timers and I don't play music in the background anymore, any of that, but it's just rapid 25 questions, And we try to get people to answer them quickly, but sometimes they have to think on it, and that's fun.
I was like, what's my favorite sandwich? I forgot. I don't know.
My mind went blank. Did you want to add anything there, Kingsley?
Yeah, I had one more thing to say, actually, back on the question. Mm-hmm. I agree that you don't want to ever remove the Guardian, but I am kind of thinking in the future, will people that come into the podcast newer, that as less and less people will play Destiny, will they be confused what Guardian Down means? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that part.
That's just a Destiny
It'll
term.
Just be something.
There's some way you could add in like a little clip at the beginning of the show, like, this is our roots for like, Guardian Down means like you've died in a game, but you're not down and out. Come join us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of do that. Ahead. I kind of do that in the audio. I have music and a little intro like that. It talks about our roots and stuff, but I'm actually going to redo that because I don't like the way I did it. It's kind of growing old on me.
Because I just wonder if people will be like, well, what does Guardian Down mean? What's the point of that name if they have no idea what Destiny
is? But there's a lot of Guardians in gaming. It's not just Destiny. There's Guardians in other games too. So anyway. Tortuga, I had a question on the cosmetic side of Marathon, and yes, I do agree some of the skins are not so appealing, but wouldn't you say it's better that the skins and the codex are better because there's something it actually worked for instead of the instant gratification that you could just buy the one you want? I never poo-pooed that. I love the fact that if I did contracts for Mida, that I would get this beautiful black and green suit for my assassin. I love that. I love that part. So yeah, absolutely. But I still have $10 worth of whatever currency they have that I haven't not bought anything yet because the store was terrible, man. Yeah, I don't know who came up with a store.
Needs to be both.
Yeah.
I agree that, you should have good skins in the codex to reach out for, but they should have had also good skins for the store.
Yeah.
You can do both,
Right. 2 more questions here. Deadpool and Merc. Are gamers too harsh on developers, or are studios releasing unfinished games too often? Yes and yes. That's my answer. They do both.
Yeah, that's kind of a big mix-up. There's not really a either or in that, for my opinion also.
I mean, I'm tired of the investors telling the developers when to release the games. It's so obvious when a game's broken and not finished. And then you have to get the day one patch to get it all where they fixed it in the background before they actually did the marketing on the game, So, thanks, Deadpool. Last question.
I believe gamers are a little too harsh on them, honestly.
I mean,
the other one.
It's just a game. I mean, a lot of people there's a real parasocial relationship with gaming and their games that they love to play and the people who make them. And yeah, we got to be careful there because these are people who, when they clock out, they go home, they have lives and they do things that you do every day. You got to remember that, these are all people too. So yeah, I think sometimes we can be too harsh, and sometimes, yes, AAA studios release games before they're done. And 30 and Still Gaming, we'd always argue over this. I don't buy day one anymore. Oh, Destiny was the only game that I would pre-order. I don't buy anything on day one anymore. In fact, 007, we just talked about that. I went to GamerAnx. I wanted to see what they thought about it. I want to see some of the gameplay. I want to see what Skill Up says, because he plays a lot like I do and he loves Destiny, so I know his play style. Things like that, But anyway.
I'll still buy day one some, but I also do those things. I also look at the pre-reviews and hopefully I see some user reviews coming in the same day, you know what I mean, before. Right. But generally, if it's a game I know I'll like watching enough screens and there's enough good reviews ahead of time, then I can feel pretty confident with the amount of money I have right now if I'm going to buy on day one. But yeah, it's always a cost benefit. I have like a complex calculation in my head if I'm going to buy or not, but I'm not opposed to buying it if it's a game that I like.
Well, I mean, we got Sony Days of Play. We got Sony Play coming out on Tuesday. I'm definitely going to watch that because it reminds me of like E3, when we watch to see what new games are coming out, what's the lineup and everything. So, and then we got Summer Games Fest coming up soon. Don't tell me that you're not going to be waiting for the very last announcement that they make in the show because that's where they really surprise you with something crazy or a little teaser or something. That's just what it's always been known for.
Last time, though.
Not last time.
Always do it.
High Guard. Oof. Hey, Guardian, our show runs on Duncan. I mean, it's supported by our community. And by that, I mean our Patreon community. We're nearly 100 strong now. And if you want to join an awesome group of people and get the benefits like a private channel with myself and Kingsley Mack and all of our other Patreon members out there, not to mention special badges in our Discord community, years of behind the scenes, special audio and video episodes just for our patrons, and it's really simple. Just go to GuardianDownCast.com and hit that Patreon button to find out more. You can also join us for free, so what do you got to lose? If you've received any value from the show today, keep those corporate sponsors out of our podcast by simply joining our awesome community at patreon.com/support Guardian Downcast. Later, Guardians. Hey, Future Gator here. Bungie did put out another dev article and This Week in Destiny on Friday, which was not part of our live show. So I've added it in at the end here for those of you who want to hear about all the changes. And I kind of have my comments on different parts of it. I don't read it verbatim, but I do talk about the high points, that stuff that I saw that, I want to make sure you knew about. If you do not want to hear any of this, I put chapters in all of our podcasts now. And if you want to go to the normal sign out that I usually do, I kind of have some thoughts about everything at the end of the podcast. You can go that and it'll say message to audio listeners. You'll see that in your chapters. That'll be our normal sign off for the show this week. There's a lot of stuff they're changing. And I mean, they're really they want us to be powerful. And I kind of like how they're doing this. So that's coming next. And if you want to skip it, I'll have a special message to all of you at the very end of the show. Bungie released another Dev Insight article and also their TWID for this week on Friday this week. So we couldn't really cover it in our live show, but I want to make sure I went over some important aspects of this. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but what I will do is I will point out the important stuff that kind of stuck out to me. And let me tell you guys, there's some exciting things in here, and I just want to make sure I talk about them in this week's show. I'll keep it as short as possible. You know me. Or maybe you don't. Anyway, here we go. Dev Insights. This is Weapons, Artifacts, and Focusing Preview. Before we dig in, we wanted to take a moment to thank you. Seeing your reactions has been really moving to us. Frankly, we wouldn't be here without you. And the way you continue to show up for this world means more than we can fully put into words. Every memory, every moment you've shared with us over the years has fueled our future. Every ounce of our June update is for you. When we hope you feel it as you continue to read through our Insight articles and upcoming TWIDs, let alone when you're playing the update with us on June 9th. Yeah, it's a bit sappy and sentimental, but that's how we're feeling while reading all of your stories over the last week. We hope to keep building the worlds to inspire friendship for years to come, and truly couldn't do it without you and your voices. Again, thank you for being here and sticking with us. All right, let's look at the goods. Dev Insight article number 2 starts now. Well, they first talk about the things they're going to cover in this article, and I'm going to skip over that because I'm going to be going through them one by one. The first thing they talk about is weapon tier upgrading. What this basically means is any weapon that you have right now, you will have an option to upgrade the tiers. Any of the weapons you're holding right now are going to be converted to a tier system. And you have the option to upgrade those tiers all the way up to 5. And you know what a tier 5 weapon is. You have enhanced perks. You have more rows. You have more perks on the gun that you can swap on the fly. It's really nice. And they just show a kind of a little display here of how to do it. It looks like when you're upgrading, it's going to cost some glimmer, ascendant alloys. Yep, those again. And enhancement prisms. And they show a before and after of, you get that nice little flourish when you do get it up to a tier 5 weapon. So, and as far as the perks that pop up on the tier 5 upgrade, I think it's going to be purely RNG, whatever's in that general pool for that weapon. So I did want to mention that. So that's going to be a nice little thing. If you have one of your favorite guns, it's only a tier 2 and you want to add some more optional perks to it. You want to get those enhanced barrel perks. You want to get those enhanced magazine perks, whatever it may be. Now you'll be able to do it on the fly. It's really nice. Nice little upgrade there. Okay. Exotic weapon catalyst. DMG tweeted today that every exotic weapon in the game will have a catalyst after this update. That is, thank you. That's huge. They mention a couple examples here. I just wanted to go over them because some of these are just really good. We want to keep most of these nice surprise for you once the update hits, but here's a sneak preview of a handful of these. Chaperone is going to get triple tap as its catalyst perk. Parasite's going to get Envious Arsenal. Teraba is going to get Ambitious Assassin. Additionally, we've also added perks to all of the oldest catalysts that only gave us stat boost to help bring them up to the same tier as the most recent weapons. Here's 2 examples. Crimson, which is one of my favorite weapons. They're adding To the Pain. Merciless is going to get Heal Clip. That's huge. In total, we've added 25 catalysts to weapons that did not have one already, 9 perks added to existing catalysts that only had weapon stats as a bonus. And they show the diagrams here of the catalysts and what they do. Enhancing weapon crafting. Now, like a lot of you have some crafted weapons, you know. You were a part of the moment in Destiny 2 where you could go to that crafting table, right? And craft your weapon however way you wanted. Well, they are making some changes to that too. They're making sure that the crafted weapons also get adapted, I guess you could say, into this weapon tier type of weapon system. I'm going to read this verbatim because it's pretty important stuff. With Monument of Triumphs update adding new armor set bonuses to earn in our raid and destination content, we wanted those weapons, the raid weapons, to feel relevant again, but not necessarily ask players to regrind them under gear tiering. Thank you for that. I don't want to grind any more weapons. We know players have already put forth a lot of effort to unlock patterns throughout the game, so we wanted to treat them with some updates while giving players additional reasons to finish up their patterns if they haven't yet. As we investigated options, we concluded that we could update all crafted weapons to the power of gear tiering, but through a slightly different method involving the crafting table. So upon logging in, any legendary crafted weapon that already exists will immediately be eligible for a version of gear tier upgrading, and any newly crafted legendary weapon can be taken on the same upgrading journey. In the inspection screen of a crafted weapon, navigating to the weapon's level boost icon, you know that thing where you had to pump in, enhancement cores to get it up to a certain level so you can unlock things on the crafting table. Remember that part? Other than getting kills, this was a quick way to upgrade your crafted weapons. Where that symbol is, that's where you'll immediately be eligible for a version of gear tier upgrading. So at that weapon level boost icon, there will be a new mod that will allow you to also improve the tier of the weapon upon reaching specific weapon levels. That being the key term, weapon levels. On a crafted weapon, gear tier will act a bit differently than other weapons as it won't immediately provide the gear tier benefits. At gear tier 3, players will unlock enhanced weapon mods, and at gear tier 5, it will unlock cosmetics, just like any other weapon in the gear tier system. However, for all other tiers, it will correspond with the unlocking of enhanced components at the crafting table. So, just give you an example here. When you reach weapon level 11, you can upgrade it to gear tier 2, and just like with a fresh tiered weapon drop, you gain access to enhanced left and right column traits. At weapon level 25, you can upgrade to gear tier 4 and add enhanced components like enhanced barrels, enhanced magazine perks. At level 30, you'll upgrade to gear tier 5 and can add enhanced origin traits. Origins will behave a bit differently than most perks in the crafting table as well. The menu will showcase all available traits, and the selection of any enhanced perks to insert will reflect in the entire column being enhanced upon selecting Reshape. The same is true vice versa. If you wish to return to base stats, selection of any base trait for the origin column will still allow other options to be available after reshaping. Okay, I hope you got that all. I know the way they worded that, it can be more confusing than it really sounds. Because the sandbox has evolved and changed since some of these destination and raid weapons entered crafting, we've also updated them to have some additional new trait options. 2 new traits per column. For instance, Supercharged Magazine and Jolting Feedback have been added to Oversoul Edict. That's that beautiful arc pulse rifle that you can get from the Crota raid. Other non-raid destination crafted weapons won't have new perks, but they are receiving enhanced origin traits for the first time. And we did revisit a few of those underperforming origins, including Head Rush, which now activates on a slide and provides a small boost in damage against hive components. They are doing the same thing on the raid adept weapons. I won't get into that part. Exotic weapon tuning. Man, there are some big changes here, guys. The Jade Rabbit. It's long been a choice pick in PvP on specific builds and specific maps, but has seen very little play elsewhere. We've made some rather significant adjustments to help its gameplay feel a bit less clunky and give it some more life in PvE activities. So, first off, they've increased the magazine size from 10 to 15. They removed Zen Moment, and they've added Shoot to Loot and Firefly as the 2 traits. And the Fate of All Fools perk, they've increased the maximum stacks cap to 15. In addition to chaining precision kills can now add a stack. Gaining a stack now refills the magazine and increases stability. Stacks will no longer be completely removed when you reload. Dealing direct body shot damage will remove one stack. Scales the damage of Firefly when it's active, and dealing a splash damage will not remove a stack on the perk. The Catalyst. In addition to adding stability, special reloading will consume all stacks of Fate of All Fools and grant a singular micro missile round, which deals bonus damage based on the number of stacks consumed. Pretty big change there. Vex Mythoclash. Remember that weapon? I've had it in my vault for a long time. As the sandbox evolved, Vex Mythoclash felt like it lagged behind other raid weapons in terms of strength and PvE content. We wanted to give the linear fusion shots something extra to help them feel worth the kill requirements to charge them. And we updated the intrinsic and catalyst to help make acquiring those kills a little bit easier. So, Timeless Mythoclash, the intrinsic perk, now has what is comparably a more potent version of rewind rounds while in full auto mode. Temporal Uplifter, which is one of the traits. Precision kills with the linear fusion rifle shots now trigger an ignition. After leaving linear fusion rifle mode, the magazine is now fully reloaded. The HUD buff and magazine display have been tweaked to show the exact amount of linear fusion shots remaining. This is a purely visual change. Functionality remains the same. Calculated Balance. This is the Catalyst. Sustained damage can now also activate the Catalyst in addition to kills, and they've added a HUD buff as well. Touch of Malice, The Last Word, Mida Multi-Tool, Heirloom, Teraba, Anarchy, Divinity, Winterbite, Edge of Action, Concurrence, and Intent. Those are the exotic glaives. Hierarchy of Needs, Sunshot and Graviton Lance, Outbreak Perfected, Arbalist, Wardcliff Coil, The Lament, Truth, Thunderlord, Whirling Ovation, which I just got that, Prometheus Lens, Centrifuge, Slayer's Fang, Xenophage, Praxic Blade, all have a lot of buffs here. They did nerf the Sunshot and Graviton Lance. What they did there is they rebalanced it where the area of effect damage from explosions, they deal more damage, but up close, they don't have as much splash damage for far away enemies. That's the only thing they really changed there. And they reduced the damage bonus at maximum nanite stacks from 4.5 to 4 for Outbreak Perfected, but believe me, it's still going to be plenty strong. A lot of these exotics are really going to be strong. Like, for instance, Divinity. After all this time, we felt it was fair to bring Divinity back up at least a little bit so that the dedicated Divinity user, the div bitch, in your group didn't feel like they were wielding a sluggish gun and missing out on some damage. So they've increased damage of penance by 20%. They reduced time to activate penance from 4 to 3 seconds. And they reduced the shots to activate the cage, the cage that gives you those precision numbers. They reduced the number of shots to activate that cage from 14 to 10. The Truth rocket launcher, which is Destiny 1, it was my favorite exotic. Truth has long struggled to have any kind of strong identity in Destiny 2. We all have fond memories of wild tracking shots with it in Destiny 1. Yes, I do remember. But the weapon struggles to keep up in today's sandbox. We've made some changes that let it lean into its 3 in the mag and gives it a splashy secondary effect if you land all of your rockets. So, it now returns 1 ammo to reserves and buffs the next magazine when all rounds in a magazine hit a target. When triggered, the next magazine gains dramatically increased rate of fire, stability, and tracking strength, and cluster bombs. So that might be a boss DPS version down the road. That is, if no one jumps in front of me when I try to fire it in a bubble or whatever. Anyway, Thunderlord's been nerfed a little bit. They've reduced the ammo refunded from Lightning Strike from 7 to 5. I think it's still going to be plenty strong. A lot of changes here to exotics. They're really changing everything. You think about it. This is the last change these exotics are ever going to get. So it's pretty big. Legendary sandbox tuning. Primary ammo weapons have struggled to keep up against combatants, especially in harder activities. So, we're implementing some broad changes to help them feel better to use. So, legendary primary ammo weapons, they're increasing damage versus minor combatants by 30%. That's big. Exotic primary weapons, they've increased bonus damage versus minor combatants from 30 to 40%. Non-blaster primary weapons, increased damage versus major combatants by 15%. That'll still be felt. And then, of course, for blasters, they're increasing bonus damage to major combatants to 20% from 15%. Special ammo weapons, they've increased damage versus major combatants by 20%, but this excludes sniper rifles, rocket pulses, rocket sidearms, swords, and Quire 1. On top of the above changes, these specific primary ammo archetypes are getting additional balance tuning. The biggest one I saw here was high-impact auto rifles. They're increasing the RPM from 360 to 400. That's going to be pretty big. Let's see. Scout rifles. Rapid-fire scout rifles, they're reducing base damage from 28 to 27.3. They've reduced critical hit damage from 54.6 to 53.25. I don't know if we'll feel that, but we'll see. Bows got big buffs. Increased damage versus minors by an additional 20%. Increased damage versus majors by 40%. So bows might actually be something you might want to use in raids, maybe. I still probably won't use one. Okay, on top of those changes, other special weapon changes they've made. Rocket sidearms, they've increased the projectile explosion by a third, 33%. Fusion rifles, rapid fire fusion rifles increased PvE damage by 7%, adaptives by 10%, precision by 20%, high impacts by 15%. Shotguns also are getting a buff to damage, depending on what type you use. Snipers, aggressive snipers, they've increased PvE damage by 15%, adaptive by 10%. No change to rapid fires. They're already pretty powerful. Rapid fire glaives increase PvE damage by 10%. Trace rifles against minors, additional 20%. Against majors, an additional 20%. Trace rifles might actually be good. Rocket pulses. You know, they don't want rocket pulses to own the meta going out. So they've tuned those down a little bit. They've decreased PvE damage by 10%, decreased damage versus bosses by 25%. This is on top of the above 10%. Reduced projectile explosion radius by 25% and reduced super generation by 25% for roamers and 33% for standard supers. So, yeah, rocket pulses might not quite be used as often as we use them right now. Heavy ammo, they've done some changes as well. Increased damage versus bosses and champs by 5% for heavy grenade launchers. Rocket launchers, 5%. Crossbows, heavy crossbows, by 10%. Linear fusion rifles, 10%. Machine guns, they increase bitter ends, reserve ammo, swords, really no, decrease the cost of vortex frame. Heavy attack from 6 to 4 ammo to match other heavy swords. Legendary perk changes. Now, I'm not going to talk about these because everybody uses these differently, but these are basically legendary perks like Focus Fury, Full Court, Lasting Impression, Reservoir Burst, Gunshot Straight, Adagio. These are legendary weapon perks. They've made some tweaks to these. They're bringing them up. Let's just leave it that. They're bringing them up where they'll be more usable. And some perks, Collective Action, Collective Pugilism, Cooling Baubles, Elemental Charge, and Facet of Honor, have also been adjusted upward. All-Star, Desperado, Frenzy, Jolting Feedback, Encore, Envious Assassin. I mean, all of these legendary perks on weapon perks have been pretty much buffed. The one that stood out for me was Desperado. In addition to its current activator of reloading after precision kill, Desperado can now also activate when reloading after 3 rapid kills. Don't have to get a headshot. Jolting Feedback, reduce shots to activate the perk by 1 to 2 for scout rifles and hand cannons. Just a bunch of, they're just buffing everything here. I'm just curious how we're going to be running over enemies with all these changes they're making. Just craziness. Origin trait weaknesses were addressed to make them feel more impactful. Advanced reflexes, that's a Dreaming City origin trait, it's been buffed. Gun and run, buffed. Nano tracer missiles have been buffed. I mean, they're just making us powerful. I mean, we want to feel powerful as Guardians, and that's what they're doing. They're making sure we go out with a bang here, and we all want to feel powerful. All right, this was a big one. Artifacts and anti-champions. Artifacts 2.0. With the Monument of Triumph, we are reworking the artifact system in multiple ways to align them with a modern Destiny 2 and setting it up to withstand the test of time, that being the key phrase right there. This means streamlining the mod selection process, removing annoyances like refunding dance, the disabling of artifact in competitive and trials modes, and then finally working in loadouts. What this means is that we have trimmed the bloat on artifacts. Gone are the days of dedicated anti-champion columns and needing to refund mods to select ones in earlier columns. This process has been simplified into 3 buckets that functionally perform like the columns did before, but in a way that uses the visual language of our modern game and works in a more intuitive way. Now, when you want to switch out a mod in a column 4, you can just do that and substitute it out for whatever fits instead of needing to clear out later columns to be allowed to respec earlier ones. On top of this, we have built anti-champion capabilities directly into your guns. So you no longer must worry about adding your favorite guns and not getting anti-champion offerings in a season, but more on that in a moment. So they're showing a picture of the encrypted data disk. That's this season's artifact. Basically, you have all of your mods listed, and then you have a row at the top where you just click the ones you want. It's very simple. Very, very simple. They've added some new mods to the, they are increasing the artifact size, and they've added some new tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 mods. I'm not going to go over those. I'll let you either experience them and be surprised, or you can go in the dev article and look at it yourself. But wait, there's more. For eagle-eyed readers, you might have noticed we kept referring to artifacts in the plural, and that is for good reason. Artifacts for the past 6 years have served to shift around the meta season over season, encouraging to try new things by giving some borrowed power. This model doesn't really work without seasons, so we are breaking the bank and not just offering one artifact, but a whopping 7 artifacts pulled from seasons past. This is big. You know how many builds? Oh my God. The build crafting that we can get into now using 7 different artifacts. Now keep in mind, you can only use one of the artifacts at a time. That's how they control it. But they're showing a diagram here in the artifact section. There's 6 other artifacts you can choose from other than the one we have now. These selections were all made to cover as many fan favorite weapons, elements, and perks as possible. And we believe will give you a treasure trove of build crafting opportunities for years to come. They won't be coming back perfectly identical, though. In the past 6 years, the artifact has shifted quite a bit from the days of glimmer mods to anti-champion capabilities, taking up a large swath of the slots to the 7-row structure and finally to boost. We took a long look at each artifact and did not only balance a pass on it to make sure that they could live on in perpetuity, looking at you Flashover, but also how we could integrate the best of all versions of the artifacts to be available in a single build crafting ecosystem. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. If you have some favorite artifact perks from seasons past that you wish you had to use, it looks like they're pulling from the past 7 seasons. Not sure exactly, but there's selected seasons that they have here, and they look really nice. All right, how anti-champion mods are going to work. With the removal of the first 2 columns of each artifact, we needed to find a new home for all our champion counter effects. Given the nature of this final release, we decided to roll access to those effects into the intrinsic perks of every weapon in the game. Yes, every weapon, even exotics. We also made a decision to remove any activation criteria to these effects, no matter which one you're using. Simply firing the weapon will apply the associated effect immediately, assuming you've landed your shots. So what it's going to go by is weapon type. So aggressive is going to be unstoppable. High impact, unstoppable. Precision is going to be barrier champs, adaptive barrier champs, lightweight, overload, rapid fire, overload. And then they break it down into different weapon archetypes like support ARs, the ones that heal when you shoot your pal. Overload, adaptive burst. That's in linear fusion rifle. It's going to be barriers. Area denial frames, overload. Double fire breach grenade launchers, unstoppable. Micro missiles, wave grenade launchers, all unstoppable. Compressed wave, unstoppable. Heavy burst hand cannons, unstoppable. Spread shot. I think spread shot, isn't that? That's hand cannons. Okay. That's overload. They list them all here. It's just a bunch of different things. So you can go through that and get your builds ready to go for when they drop everything on June 9th. And they talk about at least some of the exotics that are going to have special anti-barrier mods built in automatically, like Xenophage, unstoppable. The Barodiad, overload, makes sense because it's an automatic. Jotun, unstoppable. So I'll be using my Jotun whenever I'm in the Kingsfall raid. Get that unstoppable champ in the middle, right, on totems. Anyway, and they show some examples here, but just know that every weapon, including exotics, will have some type of anti-champion mod built into it automatically. That's big. Just simplifies things. I think they complicated things with all these anti-barrier, all these anti-champion mods. Now it's all built in. It's really good. Vendor updates. With this release, many of your favorite vendors across the tower are getting an update. Reputation rank reward tracks are returning to many of the Sorry, I had to burp. Reputation rank reward tracks are returning to many of the vendors. Shaxx, Zavala, Saint 14, Xur, Banshee 44, and even your old pal Drifter. We've also expanded their focusing options significantly, as well as some other vendor-specific updates we'll touch on below. Focused tiered gear. Focusing for tiered gear is now available from many vendors across the tower. This includes newly added gear as well as gear from across the last several releases. For example, the Edge of Fate, Ash of Iron, and Renegades. Weapons will be focusable at Tier 3 and Tier 4 depending on the player's power level. With the addition of upgradable weapons, you can take any rolls you get from focusing and upgrade them to Tier 5. While activities will remain the best and most consistent source of natural Tier 5 weapons, however, because armor is not upgradable, focusable armor will go up to Tier 5. Fan-frickin-tastic. Just to give you an idea, generally, weapons will be focusable at Tier 3 or Tier 4. You have to be, if you're under 399 power, it'll be Tier 3. If you're over 400 power, it'll be Tier 4. Tiered weapons may be upgradable to Tier 5. Armors will be focusable based on power level. So if you're under 399 power, it'll be Tier 3. 519 or low or to 400 will be Tier 4. And 520 plus, that's me, will be Tier 5. Ada1 is being updated. Her shader inventory will be enlarged. There'll be some new shaders that they're releasing. And they've increased the number of available shaders every week from 3 to 6. And the Ada1's legacy armor is no longer on a rotation. Expanded selection to all armors for transmog purposes. Threader bounty reset. No longer resets seasonally. Instead, players will earn one additional Threader bounty per class per week. New bounties available each week at weekly reset. Maximum number of available Threader bounties per class is 10. Drifter, Gambit Reputation is back. Upgraded Gambit focusing, gear additions, tiered focusing will utilize Gambit Engrams. Now includes focusing for all tiered Gambit gear, including new Gambit weapons and armor. Banshee 44, Gunsmith Reputation rank awards track has been restored. Man, I used to love getting rep for Banshee 44. Dismantling weapons and armors gives Gunsmith Reputation again. Thank you. Updated Gunsmith focusing now includes shared pool weapons from previous releases, includes tiered gear from Edge of Fate, Ash of Iron, and Renegades. Hawthorne will have updated clan engrams to give tiered gear for our clan members out there. Saint 14, Trials of Osiris Reputation rank is back. Updated Trials focusing, again, gear additions, includes tiered gear. Focusing will utilize Trials engrams. Saladin, upgraded Iron Banner focusing now includes focusing for all tiered Iron Banner gear. They're going to have more gear additions, increased tiered gear, Focusing will utilize Iron Banner ciphers obtained through Iron Banner match completions. Iron Banner will maintain event card and will not see its reputation rank reward track restored. So once you unlock everything in it, then that's it. You're done. Shaxx Crucible reputation will be back. Updated Crucible focusing, new gear additions included tiered gear and tiered focusing, and competitive Crucible gear will require Crucible ciphers, which can be obtained via competitive Crucible. Xur's reputation rank is back. Purchasing items from Xur gains reputation. Xur's inventory has been updated. There's new catalyst added to his inventory, and there's tiered armor. Zavala. Vanguard reps back. Updated Vanguard focusing, just like I mentioned earlier. You're going to be adding more gear, all that stuff. Pinnacle Ops and Arena Ops gear will require Vanguard. Ciphers can be obtained via Pinnacle Ops and Arena Ops activities. Nightfall ciphers that players may have in their inventory will automatically be updated to Vanguard ciphers. Rewards from Call to Arms are available to pick up from Zavala for those who have earned but not yet received them, and upgraded the rotation for weekly Vanguard Arms rewards. Destination vendors. These are the planet vendors. Upgraded gear to be distributed at Tier 3. So basically, once you get Tier 3 gear from, let's just say, Failsafe on Nessus, then all you have to do is get some materials and upgrade it to Tier 5, and you have a Tier 5 weapon. It's really nice. This is really big. You can attune anywhere. Attunement now lives in your inventory, accessible anywhere, anytime. No longer will you have to go to a specific vendor to attune what you want to earn from the activities you're playing. With a huge amount of new and updated weapons in this release, we wanted to make it seamless for you and your fire team to have greater agency around farming for those god rolls than never before. So if you're hanging out in orbit or waiting for friends during a break between SRL races, take some time to attune your favorite weapons across various activity types. They show a menu here of attunement. It's right in it's under accessories and your consumable menu. Attunement exists for the following activities: distortions, world drops, solo ops, fireteam ops, arena ops, pinnacle ops, crucible ops, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Gambit, Onslaught, and Sparrow Racing League. And they show a UI here of all the different activities where you can attune it separately. That's our new Dev Insights article about weapons, the artifact, and how vendors, attunement, and focusing will work when the Monument of Triumph update drops on June 9th. We have more to share later in our TWID, which I'm going to talk about in a second, coming in just 2 hours. Stay tuned. Find out what's more is happening and what's changing in the Crucible, what new rewards you can get in Pantheon, and so much more. We're definitely going to talk about that because that's good news as well. So there you go. That is all of the changes they're making to the artifact, vendors, how you attune things, all about the weapons, the sandbox changes. What do you think? This is a lot. I know it's a big info dump. I tried to go as fast as I could, but there's some really key stuff in here I wanted to make sure you knew about if you haven't found out about it already. All right, let's get on with This Week in Destiny.
Hi, this is Fluffy Fingers MD from Potato Thumbs Podcast, the podcast that you never knew existed. I am here to tell you that you are listening to Guardian Down, the squarest coffee table around.
This Week in Destiny for May 29th, 2026. I'm going to breeze through this because they pretty much talk about changes they're making to Crucible. They talk about the Dev Insights articles they've had out so far. We just went over one of them. But the PvP Strike Team is talking about the sandbox tuning review. They're changing the way abilities work in Crucible. Like, for instance, my Void Warlock, Pocket Singularity, they're reducing the tracking shape against players by 60%. So some pretty good changes here. Just check it out, go through it, and see if it applies to what you do. Artifacts are now disabled in trials and competitive playlists, so keep that in mind. The ammo system, they're reducing the point gains from special ammo and heavy ammo, kills and assists, and supers by 33%. They're reducing glaive melee point damage gains by 20%, reduced adaptive burst LFR ammo from crates from 5 to 3, and reduced bitter ends ammo from crates from 75 to 62. Kind of little nuanced stuff there, but weapons, oh my gosh. Remember the auto rifles, the high impacts are being increased to 400. I think we'll have to see how those work in Iron Banner next time it's around. But they have changed the damage, fall off scalars, and base damage to at least account for some of that increased rounds per minute. So, like I said, we'll have to test it out and see. Lots of changes. Rapid fires, they reduced base damage to rapid fire. Scout rifles, things they made different. A lot of things they talked about in the last weapon update. I'm not going to get into it here. Unified Crucible Ops. Basically, in a nutshell, they put everything into one tab at the bottom in your director. And then from there, you'll have submenus you can go through. You know, when Iron Banner's in town, that'll take over one of the control places, and there'll be another quick play option once Iron Banner's here. They'll have one for Sparrow Racing League, and they'll have private matches. And yeah, pretty much the same as we've seen, but they're just conglomerate everything into one tab. I think they're doing that mainly so people don't get spread out too far. They want people to find it easily and jump right in. They showed a picture of the new updated rewards, the armor for Crucible. Looks pretty good. You can look at that in the TWAB if you incline. New armor set. There's some good origin traits here. The armor set is called Triumphal Anthem. The 2 pieces is called Scoot to Loot. Sliding collects nearby ammo and temporarily grants enhanced reload speed and handling to your weapons. 4 pieces of this will, when dealing damage with your weapons, temporarily grants an enhanced slide. You gain damage resistance while sliding. That's pretty big. They talk about some of the new weapons, some of the reprise weapons they're bringing back. I'm not going to get into that. 2 new ships. Glory of Shaxx, the Warlord Charge, Warlord Charge Sparrow. You got a new Ghost. It looks just like Shaxx with his one little horn. They've got a new modifier called Arena Collision. Arena Collision is a 4x4 game mode that harkens back to the original Arena style of sandbox with more methodical gameplay focused on weapons, map knowledge, and movement. You fight over the heavy ammo crates to help you control the objective and greatly reduce penalties for hip firing and airborne gameplay. Primary weapons, damage unchanged, hip fire accuracy, and aim assist penalties are decreased. Special weapons disabled. Heavy weapons, damage decreased. The game starts with 3 heavy ammo crates active, 1 for each side and 1 neutral. Crates respawn on a wave of 120-second countdown. Crates are not shared. General weapons. All weapons are granted plus 60 airborne effectiveness. Radar heavily modified. Base radar range has been decreased and no longer expands dynamically. Players will only show up on radar if they are shooting, sliding, sprinting, jumping, or have heavy ammo. Within center circle, players will show up as dots instead of illuminated wedges. Oof, it's going to be hard to get used to. Grenades. Grenade base recharge rates have been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund grenade energy, amount of which is based on the base cooldown of your grenade stat. Melees. Powered melees are disabled. Melee damage has been decreased. Glaive melee damage has been further reduced. Class abilities. Class ability-based recharge has been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund class ability energy, the amount of which, based on your type of ability, its base cooldown and all that stuff. Supers are disabled. Camera 3 peeking is disabled, and respawns are every 7 seconds, and revives are enabled. New additions to private matches. They mentioned these last time. Glass cannons. Everyone is a super. No one is. Phew. Okay. All weapon damage has been decreased. Increased. Body shot damage significantly increased. Special weapons damage is significantly increased. Heavy weapons damage is significantly increased. General weapons aim assist is slightly reduced. Radar's unchanged. Grenade cooldowns are doubled, but damage is greatly increased. Melee cooldowns are doubled. Class abilities doubled. Cooldowns for supers have been halved, but damage taken from weapons, grenades, or melees while in super is greatly increased. Camera unchanged, respawns every 5 seconds. They have another one called software, the opposite of hardware. Throw more grenades and melees and supers. Primary, special, and heavy weapons disabled. General weapons disabled. Radars unchanged. Grenades, cooldowns greatly decreased. Melees, cooldowns greatly decreased. And class abilities decreased. Supers, cooldowns greatly decreased. So basically, you're fixing a third-person camera. It respawns are every 5 seconds, no revives. This is basically Scorched, but with grenades and your abilities. So, like everybody's been complaining there's too many abilities in Crucible. Well, in software, there's no weapons. It's all abilities. So that'd be an interesting private match. Maybe one night we can do. Competitive's got some new rewards as well. Looking at the armor here, it looks okay. The armor set from Competitive is called Per Audacia. 2 pieces of it. Primary ammo weapon, final blows grant a stacking bonus to mobility and primary weapon range and handling until you are defeated. If you have 4 pieces of it, you increase mobility and grants enhanced sprint speed and slide distance. Wow, that's competitive. Weapons. There's some new weapons, there's some reprise weapons and returning weapons. Alongside a new competitive and glory armor set and the returning weapons, we're also adding 2 new emblems to be earned. Win 77 games in the competitive playlist to unlock the I Am the Crucible emblem, and it looks really good. It's got like a gladiator on the emblem. Looks really good. They have a new Ascendant emblem, Last Guardian Standing. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like a really nice Iron Banner emblem. I'll never see that one because I'm not going to play enough to get to Ascendant. But those of you who do, there's a really nice emblem. Pretty fancy. Very fiery. Trials of Osiris and map rotations. Trials will now have 3 different pools of multiple maps, and they will alternate. There's a 33 and a third % chance of repeating maps, but they'll all be on a rotation per week, by the way. Like, for instance, Pool 1, you have Burnout, Javelin 4, Endless Veil. Pool 2 is Altar of Flame, Pacifica, Cirrus Plaza, Eventide Labs, Dead Cliffs, Meltdown, Solitude, Radiant Cliffs, and Wormhaven. And Pool 3 is all Pool 1 and Pool 2 maps, and remaining maps except Convergence, Rusted Lands, Multiplex, Citadel, and Exodus Blue. So those are going away. That's sad. I liked Exodus Blue. I actually liked Rusted Lands too. Oh well. We should have more maps in Crucible, Bungie, not less. But okay. This is just for Trials, though. Keep that in mind. New Trials gear, it looks pretty good, man. I'm telling you, the Warlock looks really good. You actually have horns on your helmet. Yeah, I might have to go for this armor. Looks really nice. New shells. 2 new Sparrows, just in time for Sparrow Racing, right? And 2 new ships for Trials. Iron Banner renewed rewards. With the Moment of Triumph release, Iron Banner's returning with a new 4-week cycle, and that's not all. You can also earn a new armor set and a slew of reprise and returning weapons. The armor looks like you're going on an expedition or something. It looks very, I don't know. You'll just have to see it. I tell you what, though, the armor and the perks that come with the armor. If you have 2 pieces of it, it's called Iron Battalion armor. It increases handling and reload speed for primary ammo weapons. Primary ammo weapons gain increased damage against non-boss combatants based on your weapon stat. If you have 4 pieces of it, it's called Super Cyclical. Final blows while your super is active refund super energy when it ends. That's interesting. I might put that on for raids. A lot of weapons coming back. A lot of reprised, like Fellwinter's Lies coming back. Returning. The Finite Impact are one of those. Newly tiered. Bonus focus pools. They're good. The pools will alternate each time Iron Banner is active. Winning goes to the higher chance of earning a bonus drop. So they have 2 different rotations of weapons they're going to offer that can fall when you complete matches and etc. So, but here's the news I wanted to share. Enter the Pantheon. So Kingsley and I have been talking about Pantheon and how, will our Saturday night raid group try Pantheon. And Kingsley thought, well, Pantheon's really, really hard. And I'll be honest, I remember when he was trying to get that Godslayer title, it really pushed his fire team to its limits, especially when they were almost out of time and they were trying to get it done before the time ran out. One thing I will tell you is there's no time limit on this, so you can try to your heart's content. But let me just read a few things about it here. Monuments of Triumph. What do I see? Monuments of Triumph will include a new set of Pantheon raid activities shaped in the image of the original format, but with upgrades and surprises featuring new bosses, new rewards, and new ways to play. We wanted to celebrate Destiny 2's bosses that veterans may remember and give returning Guardians an opportunity to experience them. At launch, 2 activities will be available, each with a unique lineup of bosses the first Saturday after launch. A third activity will unlock, which changes players to take on a full gauntlet of bosses. The following Tuesday at reset, weekly rotators begin featuring individual bosses. Guardians can earn a new armor set for each class, a suite of weapons reprised from the original activities with a unique origin trait and holofoil variants. Each multi-boss activity concludes with a vendor offering purchase of re-rolls and acquired items with Spoils of Conquest. Reprised Pantheon encounters have a chance to reward ornaments for their original armor sets. For example, Callus may drop the armor ornaments related to the original base Leviathan raid for Guardians who have not unlocked them. Oh, we're going to get to fight Callus again. That's going to be fun. Completing a new set of triumphs rewards emblems, exotic cosmetic items, and a new title. All activities offer a new adventure difficulty aimed at players looking for a lower stakes opportunity to learn, teach, and practice for success. This is huge. This is something Kingsley was really hoping we would have. And so there you go, Kingsley. There is now an adventure difficulty, just like they did with Dungeons a while back, where you could go in solo and actually learn the encounters and stuff. And there was little extra hints that would help you learn the encounters. Now you're going to be able to do it with Pantheon. That's really nice. Obviously, you won't get as big of rewards, but we may start doing this to begin with, and then as we get more confidence, move into doing it at full strength. All activities offer a new adventure difficulty, and that's going to be really nice. There is a trade-off of a limited pool of lower tier rewards, so just keep that in mind. Okay, they're going to have feats. Since their introduction in the Edge of Fate, we've been listening to feedback that in already challenging activities, the feat system has made it too difficult to earn the highest quality gear. In Monument of Triumph, those activities now have a standard difficulty option without feats that will continue to offer weekly tier 5 drops per encounter. Feats are still accessible in the new custom difficulty mode, where we have overhauled the quantity and quality of rewards granted by completing encounters with feats active. The additional drops and tier upgrades and per encounter are guaranteed. In addition, we've increased the reward value of some of the feats to better represent their degree of challenge. They have a table that shows you exactly how many. If you have 5 feats, you're going to get 3 tier 5 engrams. Raids and dungeon rewards. We want to provide a compelling reason for Guardians to revisit their favorite raid activities and dungeons in Monument of Triumph. To that end, we've upgraded all weapons and armors from the Edge of Fate raid activities and dungeon activities to provide tiered rewards. This means all raids and dungeons will drop tiered armor, all dungeons will drop tiered weapons, and craftable raid weapons will have tiered bonuses. We talked about that in the dev article. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll start earning that raid gear when we start doing our Saturday night raids. It'll be nice. They're going to have weekly featured raids and dungeons. That'll be on a rotator. As you can tell, this release is a look back at our raid and dungeon content over the years. We have marveled at how our extraordinary community has overcome every challenge we could dream up. Your dedication and limitless capability have been a source of inspiration. With Pantheon and Monuments of Triumph, we endeavor to again create an opportunity for your fire team to walk into the unknown and achieve the impossible. Oh, another thing, they're going to give us more vault space. We're now going to have 1,300 slots because, we're getting all these new tiered weapons and armor. Got to put them somewhere. So they're giving us 300 more slots. Also, you're going to have a total of 20 loadout slots in the game. That's going to be big too. So start putting your builds together and you'll have up to 20 slots to immediately switch over to them. And remember, when you switch out to your preloaded loadouts, it will also switch out the artifact perks. That's huge. I hated that. I always assumed that happened, but it doesn't. So now it will. So it's really nice. Cosmetic, Bright Engrams, Bright Dust, and expanded exotic armor ornaments. When Renegades launched, we introduced universal exotic ornaments, and the Destiny fashion community got to work to making many exciting new fits for their Guardians. However, one question rose to the top of the feedback. When can we put legendary ornaments on our exotic armor? The answer is in Monument of Triumph. We didn't stop at just legendary ornaments, however. All qualities of armor ornaments from common to legendary can now be applied to the currently equipped exotic armor alongside universal exotic ornaments. The same caveats that applied for universal exotic ornaments will still apply for the expanded ornaments. So that's really good. You'll put any kind of ornament you want on any of your exotic gear. Additionally, note that the equipped armor's icon will update to show the visual of the equipped ornament, but will still retain the exotic quality color. This will ensure that players in PvP can always know what their rivals have an exotic equipped, even if they're wearing an ornament as a different quality. In addition to expanding the range of ornaments that can be equipped on exotic armor, the full collection of exotic armor ornaments for each class can now be viewed in collections in the exotics section. That's nice. So you know what you need to work for. They now are going to have a separate tab for Destiny announcements. So no more of those screen pop-ups. They'll have a tab that actually where these collect, like a little envelope, you know. If you have some messages, you can go click on it. Probably, I'm guessing this will be somewhere in your UI, probably one of your menu options. That's really nice. This was big for me. Bright Engram Focusing. The upcoming release will change the way Bright Engrams work with the addition of Bright Engram Focusing, housed in a new tab in the Eververse. A focused engram will award an unowned item of the engrams category. For example, a focused ship engram will provide an unowned ship. And they really mean this. You can focus your engrams. You can get a standard decryption with no focusing. If you want to put 300 Bright Dust with it, you can get legendary accessories like ghost ships and vehicles together, legendary shaders, legendary flare like holo chips, ghost holograms, and transmat effects together. For 600 Bright Dust, you can get exotic accessories like ghost ships, vehicles individually, with skimmers included in vehicles, legendary emotes, single player and multiplayer together. This is great. If you're missing any of your emotes, this is a really easy way to do it. And also legendary finishers. For 900 Bright Dust, you can focus exotic weapon ornaments, exotic emotes, single player and multiplayer together, legendary and exotic armor ornaments, individual engrams per class and slot combination. Focused engrams will now contain Eververse-sourced items in a category that are drawn from across Destiny 2's history. Even items newly introduced in Monument of Triumph and items that have never been offered in engrams or for Bright Dust will be available through Focused Engrams. This is big. Note that Focused Engrams will offer items only. Bright Dust will not be a reward option. However, you can still get offers of gifts of Bright Dust from the original standard decryption with no focusing. But that doesn't happen very often, just letting you know. While several Focused Engrams have more items in them than we can show in the preview of its contents, seriously, there are a lot of items. They will not drop duplicates and their contents are finite. This means that they will gradually deplete as their contents are required. As an engram depletes, the preview of its contents will update, and eventually all the remaining items will be visible in a preview at once. When a focused engram has been completely emptied, its preview will be empty and additional purchases of that engram will be blocked, as there is nothing left to earn. So for all you collectors out there like me, now you can make sure that you've collected everything in the game. This is fantastic. And to add to that, Bright Engram Focusing will also provide a one-to-one exchange for legacy engrams that were available before the Eververse engram was introduced in Season 12. The exchange for a given legacy engram The exchange for a given legacy Engram will only be visible if that Engram is present in your Engram inventory. Eligible legacy Engrams are as follows: Season 1 Bright Engrams, Season 2 Illuminated Engrams, Season 2 Dawning Engram, Season 2 Crimson Engram, Season 3 Prototype Engram, Season 3 Solstice Engram, Season 4 Steadfast, Season 4 Ephemeral, Season 5 Etched, Season 5 Winter Drift, Season 5 Crimson, Season 6 Notorious, Season 6 Jubilant, Season 7 Best of Year 1 Engram, Season 8 Nostalgic Engram, Season 9 Fond Memories Engram, Season 10 Luminous Engrams, and Season 11 Mnemonic Engram. So what this means is you're going to be able to focus everything that Destiny 2 ever offered through Engrams. For you collectors out there, like myself, this is something to kind of work towards, a little bit at a time every week. This is really big, guys. Evergreening. With the end of Destiny 2's regular release schedule and Moments of Triumph, we have made major changes in the ways we distribute Bright Dust and Chronologues or offer access to content from the Eververse, the Rewards Pass, the Monument to Seasons Past, or Bright Engrams. Each of these changes are from the perspective of supporting the weekly resets that will continue and on improving access to the many cosmetics that have been offered in Destiny 2 through the years. Some highlights of the changes we'll cover in the greater detail in our patch notes, but they include Bright Dust and Chronologues. Chronologues will now be one of the 4 featured currencies shown across the UI, listed after Glimmer and before Silver. They will no longer take a spot in the inventory as a result. Bright Dust and Chronologues will shift their focus to be predominantly earned through the seasonal hub, with the weekly earnable amounts going up as the hub absorbs other sources. The Rewards Pass. In addition to the shift to the hub, Bright Dust and Chronologues will also be available on the Triumph's Reward Pass. In part to compensate for the long delay, all Bright Dust on the Triumphant Reward Pass is on the free track. The score boost has been replaced with an additional set of XP boost, with up to plus 15% personal and Fireteam XP available. The 5 stages of XP boost will be automatically unlocked based on progress earned on the Lawless Frontiers or on the Lawless Rewards Pass, which I'm fully maxed out on. The Triumphant Rewards Pass has received additional cosmetic rewards, including 2 additional armor ornament sets, 6 shaders, 2 accessory sets, 2 emotes, a finisher, a holochip, a ghost hologram, and a skimmer. Monument to Seasons Past. The Ash and Iron Rewards Pass and the Lawless Rewards Pass have been added to the Monuments to Seasons Past because it will be permanently available in the Rewards Pass screen. The Triumphant Rewards Pass will not be available on the Monument to Seasons Past. The seasonal armor bundles for the year of the final shape have been added to their relevant seasons in the Monument to Seasons Past also. This will allow Guardians to acquire samples of these armors to unlock them as ornaments. Eververse. The Eververse will be shifting to more evergreen state. Some changes will be noticeable immediately, including the new Daily Offers tab, while others will occur starting June 23rd. More details will be provided in the patch notes on June 9th. That's everything for this rare Friday Twid. Hopefully it was plenty. There's a lot of great changes coming with Monument of Triumph, and our goal with this week's 3 articles was to lay it all out. Well, almost all of it. We'll be there with all of you on June 9th, trying out some old exotics and some new catalysts, taking down old raid bosses one more time, fighting friends in the most ridiculous private Crucible matches, dropping an idea here, Javelin 4, New Land Beyond only. Okay. Getting some renewed versions of fan favorite returning weapons and blasting the most annoying from during some late night SRL races. Honk back if you love Destiny 2 as much as we do. As I always say, thank you, Destiny 2 community team. Thank you for communicating with us every week, whether it didn't have a lot to say or not, but thank you for communicating with us. We really do appreciate that.
And now, a news bulletin from our Patreon sponsors. In today's economy, gas is high, joy is low, but the Guardian Roundtable is on the rise. You're listening to Guardian Roundtable.
So, I've been through all kinds of different emotions with last week's news. Bungie stopping development on Destiny 2. At first, as you heard in last week's episode, I was at peace with Destiny 2 coming to an end. And if I would have known how the episodic content was going to be released after the final shape, it would have been an easy decision to end my Destiny journey right after watching that Horizon at the very end of the final shape campaign. It was such an emotional and quite eloquent way to end a saga. If you haven't played the final shape campaign, you owe it to yourself to experience it. Some of the best gaming content I have ever played. The announcement that Destiny 2 was not ending and the smaller, quote, episodes were going to be released gave us all hope that the game was going to continue for many years to come. And don't get me wrong, I'm not crapping on the episodic content. I got value out of those for what I paid into it. But there was a little bit of disappointment in what we actually received. And it just kept building inside me with every subsequent episode, to the point that I kind of became numb to any news from Bungie concerning future content. It seemed like my expectations just kept lowering, and I just didn't have the same amazing feeling that I did playing the Red War campaign, starting over from nothing. And I'm so sorry that some of you never got to experience that dire situation of getting kicked off a ship with no light in sight to save you. It was quite a unique feeling in the game. The Red War campaign and the Leviathan raid being cut from the game, it's going to be a blight on Destiny's legacy. I'm sure of that. But I'm not here to pile on and join in on the doom and gloom. Quite the opposite, actually. With everything that Bungie is releasing with this very last update, the things that I just talked about, it seems like a fitting end to the game. It really does. It feels like they've been writing all of our complaints in a little notebook and immediately got to work on making sure that at least most of those gripes were addressed. Let's look at the other alternative here. Can you imagine if the lack of communication and all the uncertainty around Destiny 2 was allowed to continue to fester? The Destiny community as a whole, in my opinion, would have gotten even more toxic, and the sentiment toward Bungie would just gotten worse and worse. Worse than the disappointment and all the emotions we're going through and experiencing today. I remember the last days of the original Destiny game. They released those Moments of Triumph books, and I was really looking forward to getting them all complete. But after they released those books, we never heard a peep from them for almost a year. I would create alt accounts just to keep busy in the game, as there was really nothing left to do. It was excruciating not knowing the future of the Destiny game. Of course, a year later, we all know what happened. Destiny 2 is announced. It at the very least gives me solace in the fact that I can really take my time and appreciate everything in the game before it becomes irrelevant. It really is a proper send-off. My biggest fear when I first heard of Sony taking over Bungie was that Sony would just dismantle the studio and spread that talent across all their many studios into oblivion. But that magic of a Bungie game would be lost forever. I really hope that Sony sees what we see in Bungie. But after losing so much money from that buyout, I can understand why they'd be hesitant to invest even more into a feature game with no guarantees of success. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's an idiotic move. But how many great things came from bucking the trend? Sony needs Bungie more than ever right now. In a sea of copycat games out there, they need to buck that trend and push forward to create that Bungie magic one more time. This, coming from a gamer that was so burnt out on Call of Duty and those same type games back then, only to discover a teaser at E3 in 2013 that it really renewed my faith in gaming for, almost 12 years now. I have never played a game this long in my life, and I'm old. That's a long time, right, Lana? Hey, thank you for listening to the show this week and every week. And a big shout out to our super fans, our Patreon community, like our Dungeon Champion patron, Deadpool 1 Merc, our Raid Boss patrons, Amazing Taco King, Jealous Gaming, and frostbite. So for whatever game you're into these days, be sure to take breaks, hydrate, and touch grass. Uncle Scumdeath, he's been a $5 Gatorade patron and community member for over 4 years now. Hey, Lee, I received your voicemails, brother, and I'll play them on next week's show, I promise.
The path to victory is long, but there's always hope. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening, and whether in life or in your game, get your reps in. And later, Guardian.
Overtime. Let's do this.
Guys, that's it. That's our show tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Anything else? Am I forgetting anything, Kingsley? Anything else we want to bring up here? I think we kind of covered the gambit tonight. I think we covered the gambit tonight. PP Pipe, thank you for... I don't know if you got a babysitter tonight or you just tucked your child in before coming. She's sleeping?
She's at her dad's house.
Oh,
she's at her dad's house.
Perfect. That worked out perfect then.
Yeah.
Thanks for
That's
coming.
why when I signed up for this date, I made sure that...
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
Yeah, I do have thank you. I do have a little confession to make. I've been playing a secret game the entire time that we've been doing this.
What game you playing?
Every time that you guys said the word Destiny, I took a drink of my beer, and I just want to let y'all know that I had three. I have 3 empty ones. Okay. And I'm on the 4th. So
nice.
I appreciate helping me have a good night. But
there you
every
go.
time y'all said Destiny, I was like sipping it up.
I love it. I love it. Thanks.
And we would do that with Arc Raiders on previous weeks.
But people get drunk because I was really high on Arc Raiders for the longest time. And in October, I'll be talking about them again. I'll definitely be playing their game. But until Arc Raiders has something out in October, I'm probably just going to play other games. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, play other games, you know? Yeah. You drink? Deadpool, you got to be drunk by now, man. Yeah, I didn't notice. All right. PP Pipe, you want to give a shout out to anybody tonight before we go? I always like to do that with our guests.
So fun. Just kidding. I don't. No, not particularly.
Okay.
Bell, baby. Yeah. Yes, thank you. He actually got me my second Xbox. So he is one of the reasons why I'm able to even do the topic that I was talking about earlier.
LAN party.
So,
nice.
Yeah. So thanks, Bell.
Deadpool says I said it. I said Arc Raiders 25 times tonight. Okay. I don't know. I know about 25 times. That's kind of pushing it, but I don't know. You did Destiny.
Arc Raiders.
That was Destiny, not Arc Raiders.
I did the word Destiny.
Oh, you up there though.
Bell, brother, thank you, man. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's been a long time to talk with you, man. I'm glad I was able to talk with you tonight. And hey, tell everybody about your podcast and give a shout out if you like to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here from Space Mafia. We have a couple podcasts. DPS, our main one, Dudes Playing Stuff. We also have Triple D for our Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. And we're a great community. We have a lot of really good people. We only have one rule within our community, and it's honestly been a great rule, and it's been working itself out the whole time. And it's don't be an asshole. So if you're an asshole, you get the boot almost immediately. Now, talking crap to each other, that's one thing. But like if you're coming there correcting people and, well, look at me kind of stuff, nah, you're gone. You're gone.
Also,
we weed them out. Yeah, okay, that's a Rodimus thing.
That's a bannable offense. Okay. Don't tell Native Raider that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When we actually started playing Destiny a little bit again, Destiny was going to be a bannable offense.
Yeah, I feel like you get the same rules. Rodimus has a different set than you do.
Rodimus has his own rules. Yeah. And don't argue with him.
Yeah. And he's like the king. So we just kind of do what he says.
Gotcha, man.
It's his. I love saying this because he hates it. It's like, this is his show. This is his Discord. And he's like, no, it is the community, 100%. I was like, you did start it though. And he goes, that's beside the point. But yeah, no, it's a great time over there. If you're looking for other games to play, we have a couple good groups that play different games here and there. So if there's anything that you're interested in, come over there. We have like a bunch of different channels for different games and stuff, so you can kind of find your people. Besides that, shout out to everyone here. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Absolutely.
It's been a good time. It's definitely been a good time. I've been out of the Destiny loop a lot, so I was in the dark, for about half the episode, but it's been a good time.
Nice, man. Thank you, sir. Kingsley, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I like to shout out the guests whenever I can. So first of all, thank you for coming on PP Pipe. I think it's probably the first time I've talked with you, and really fun to hear everything, and glad you had a fun drinking game with our Destiny talk.
I was like, I literally brought 2 beers in before we even started, and I ended with 4. So
yeah, nice. And shout out to Belle, of course. And man, love talking with you and hearing your opinions. And everyone, please, also check out the lovely community of Space Mafia.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Good guys over there. And now Ryan's over there. It's good to see him too, man. I gave him a shout out last week. I don't know if you heard it or not on the audio version.
Yeah.
I should have worn my shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's right.
I should have worn my DPS shirt.
Now, I do have a very important announcement. I think you guys will like this announcement. I don't know if you guys remember, but we used to do Owl Sector Alliance community shows, and we are actually putting one on live next Saturday. Don't know if we have the time exactly. We'll announce it in our Discord, but 2 Titans and a Hunter, the Blueberry Lounge, obviously us here at Guardian Down Cast. I think some members of the Dudes Playing Stuff might be there too. Maybe some others as well. I think Noble's going to be there too. A Night Demon's going to be there. And it is going to be a daytime. I know it is going to be a daytime stream on Saturday because we're trying to accommodate our UK brothers over there. So they're not like up till 2 a.m. on a podcast. But we're going to do one more community podcast, just like the old days, live next Saturday afternoon. I'll put an exact time in our Discord down the road. And we're all basically just going to talk about our favorite times playing Destiny and just kind of reminisce a little bit. And I think they were wanting to do a scrim or something afterwards. I'm not sure, but you're going to be drunk. You're going to be drunk. She's already drunk. So I want to mention for all of those diehards who stick around to the very end and watch or listen to the show, now you know. So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a great show. A lot of great conversation tonight. And remember, as in life or in your game, get your reps in. Later, Guardians.
Get your drinks in.
Yeah.
She's drunk. She's drunk. With Monument of Triumph. Monument?